There you go, Paul.
Yeah,
I think you might have been maybe like a millisecond off. But I think I got the end of it.
It's terrible.
As Paul was trying to count us in.
We were this close to greatness.
Just need to do it every week, and 1 week we'll get it right.
He got it right on the very first session.
That's true, you did get it right on the very
Did
first
I actually?
session. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, very first session, you completely nailed it.
You called it right. But everyone watching, welcome back to Twisted Fates. As always, I am your Dungeon Master, I am Emily, and we are with my lovely boys. We'll go backwards today. We'll go Paul.
Hello, I'm not used to this.
Matthew.
Hello.
Ewan.
Bonjour.
Then Craig.
That was so weird. Hello.
Mix it up, go backwards for a little while.
I've been thrown off my rhythm.
I know.
It's like shaking with your left hand, you know?
I've thrown you all off.
Now I've thrown him off his rhythm!
It's just the scene from Emperor's New Groove. Which one of you's gonna get thrown out the window?
Got a John Mulaney quote for any situation.
I volunteer to be thrown out the window.
Street smarts!
We don't have much of a recap for you this episode because I guess it was a lot happened last episode, but I guess it was a lot of simple things that happened last episode. Our party made a wee pit stop in Tenon. Ewan attempted to do a little bit of shopping, wasn't quite able to get the gold for what he wanted. And the party stopped in to see Caradoc and Elsha to see how they were getting on, before packing up and heading back out on the road, back out towards Summerhost, where Lucius, the man they are travelling with and escorting, pulled them off the main road and took them into the plains to look for his Precursor site, look for this, as they found out, thing he didn't really know what he was looking for. He was kind of just...
This nerd.
He was just kind of guessing.
We hate this.
Yeah, the party for some reason don't like him and don't trust him.
He's done nothing to us, we've just decided we don't like him. Prince Philip looking ass.
The party did, however, find the entrance to the Precursor location. Eidolon was able to find some irregularities in the plains, finding some budding moonflowers, and they waited till the evening for the entrance to open up, where they began to explore the cavern. As the party made their way down the caverns and over a broken bridge, through a riddle door and into another puzzle room where Wolfric got a little bit damaged from one of the statues, one of the living guardians, but they were eventually able to work out the puzzle which grant them access to the inner sanctums, to the inner sections of the temple, where to get through another door they tried to puzzle a puzzle that wasn't a puzzle, and had to fight 2 golems, which the party did pretty good against. No one went down, but they were both dealing as much damage as they were being dealt, so it was kind of a bit of an ouch. Lucius didn't help, which probably adds to their frustrations with the old man.
Fuck the asshole.
I mean,
Fucking asshole.
as he made the point to you guys, you're being paid to protect him, not the other way around. So,
Could have helped though. Fucking ungrateful.
Bloody old people always wanting to be helped and never wanting to actually do anything. It's why they shouldn't get the vote.
Okay, boomer.
Okay.
As coming to the end of our last session, the party took a short rest upon the balcony of quite a large room, which is where we're kind of going to pick up this evening. We're kind of giving you guys a little bit of a description of the room that you're in again, just to kind of refresh your memories. You are upon a balcony. 2 sets of stairs kind of lead down into a more central room. One of the set of stairs is completely destroyed by rubble. However, you are overlooking quite an elaborate archway that seems to go out into another corridor, and beautifully painted walls. Though in the centre of the room, that's again what takes your attention, is it seems to be a somewhat dead or dying flower bed. All the plants within it are, I guess, unkempt and uncared for. And in the centre of the bed is a statue of a man and a woman. The woman swooning in the man's arms, and the rather tall gentleman looking very lovingly at her. So,
I just got to say, it's endlessly helpful to have the map here. It's a lot easier to picture.
It's like
Yeah.
trying to sort. So last time they didn't actually have access to the map because I couldn't sort my screens so that the OBS was happy with it. However, I did manage to get it hopefully working. Everything seems to be working on my end, and it looks like it's working on your guys' end. So we'll see how that goes today. It's a bit of a trial and error, but I'm hoping it works.
It's working well so far.
That's because I've not tried to touch the map yet. We'll see what happens when I try and touch the map. But what do you guys kind of words? What do you guys want to do? As you kind of have this room at your disposal, there is a very clear corridor. A very clear they've got this very elaborate stone arch, and then there is a very clear corridor at the other side. And there's obviously all these paintings on the walls. But if you want, you guys can go and have a wee gander at.
Marksar would like to examine the flower bed. You know, kind of discern whether it's just like... Obviously, like, we're in a cave right now, so, like, did they die because no sunlight or rain, or were they not nurtured, or what kind of plant they are? So I'm trying to figure
Give
out.
me a wee nature roll.
Okay,
Which should be a little bit better now because your proficiency bonus went up this turn.
Hell yeah.
So it's now a +3 instead of a +2.
Let's go!
22.
Hey!
Hey!
There's nothing
Let's
really...
look at the flowers!
There's nothing really special about these flowers, I guess, in terms of what type of flower they are. They're majority wild flowers. The bed that they're on probably would have had grass on it at one point. It's now kind of very overgrown with moss. The main problem with a lot of these flowers is they don't seem to be getting a lot of water. Not so much that they weren't uncared for, it seems to be that they just got stopped, or they were stopped being cared for. As the bed itself seems to be well tilled, it seems to be well tended to, but the soil is just bone dry.
There's no source of water in this room we're in, is there?
Nope. The only source of water you guys would have would be in your own water skins, unless either yourself or Ranagash have a spell to produce water.
Ran? My man.
Nope.
I can produce a liquid, but that's poison, so...
Yeah,
That's that.
don't water flowers
Don't
with
do that.
poisons.
I'd kind of like to disappointingly chaperone Lucius into the room so he can have a look around it.
He seems to be very much marvelling at the paintings more than anything else. You see him once again, he making his way down the stairs, more takes out his notebook and starts crudely sketching some of the illustrations. He's not really his forte in terms of drawings, but he seems to be more taking his time, I guess, to pace the room and piece together pictures.
Well, I'll let him do that. He's already been annoying enough today, so I'll leave him to whatever he's doing.
Leave the old man to his drawing.
And more just kind of like move around the room, making sure that essentially the way forward is the only way to go.
From what you can see, yes, the archway, the archway and the corridor beyond it are the only, unless you go back the way you came, the only way out of this room.
I guess in that case, I will more just idle and look at the paintings. And leave to what everyone else is doing.
Ran, Wolfric,
What is, sorry.
what were you going to say, Paul?
I just want to ask what's actually in the paintings.
Well, I'll see if Wolfric and what Ran and Wolfric are doing, and then I'll maybe do a description for you all if you're all taking a gander at the murals, taking a gander at the frescoes.
Wolfric would have assessed the room, and then he'd be looking at the fresco.
Imagine I would have, that goddamn, was it Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he sits up and points at the TV? Imagine he's having that kind of moment with a statue. And then if the murals are the same,
This looks so familiar!
deja vu. Yeah, deja vu to the nth degree.
Well, hilariously, very accurate description with regards to your deja vu. As surrounding the kind of, I guess, left-hand wall, then the back wall where the arch is, and then the right-hand wall, there is numerous frescoes, numerous paintings that seem to be telling a story of something, as many of these religious murals do. The first one is, I guess, the one which strikes your deja vu the hardest, Matthew, as it is of a garden where a man and a woman are sitting amongst flowers underneath a blooming tree, a blossoming tree. However, the thing that strikes all of you as a little bit odd about this painting in particular is in the kind of sky and the scape in the background, there are two moons in the sky. Not one, there are two. Moving from that, the second one shows, again, this man and the woman in the garden, though the sky going from almost like a lilac or a blue colour seems to have been painted black. You can kind of see the contrast between that and the blooming flowers in the garden, where it almost looks like it's been ripped asunder by what looks like purple lightning. Then surrounding the archway, as it kind of moves around these images, these stills, you see an archway, or around the archway is a much more familiar sight, as it looks very similar to the plains of Ellerant. You are able to place particularly the Gildenfeld in the background, the Forest of Mire off to the left hand side, and then the Barrier Mountains and the Vanroll Woods off to your right hand side. However, the two figures, the man and the woman, are separated. The woman is standing upon the left hand side of the wall, and the man is standing on the right hand side of the wall. The two of them no longer together, at least in this painting. Then as the frescoes move around to the right hand side of the wall to what looks like the final two frescoes of this room, the man and the woman have their own fresco dedicated to them. First comes the man, who is painted in a much more dark landscape, portrayed in much more dark colours, where in a more, I guess, evening light, very purple and blue hues, you can see what looks like the glimmers and glints of an army on the horizon. Then the final fresco with the woman in it, I guess, looks a little bit sad, as she appears to be standing in a garden, standing in a glade of a forest. A lot of flowers seem to be around her. You can even see some stones almost like pillared and piled around her. However, all the flowers in the mural are dead, and for this it almost seems to be the end of or at least the end of this fresco's story.
Apart
do you
from the
make of
two moons, is there anything strange? Oh, sorry, Paul.
I was going to ask Rand what he thought of this.
That vision I had the other day, night, whatever. These people. Particularly that one, I point to the first one.
Did two moons mean anything to any of you?
Thought there was only one moon.
I'd give like a yeah. I think that's correct. Last time I checked.
Looks at the world lore and be like, yes, one moon.
Shit, world dog.
Yes, Ellerant only has one moon.
Okay.
Now,
Um,
that doesn't mean that always. There could have been a second moon in the past that was destroyed.
I'd turn to Lucius or Ranagash, well, mainly directing towards both of them, and just ask, has there ever been a second moon?
In Ellerant, no, we have never had a second moon in this world. Though that's not to say this depicts our world.
Well, one of them certainly does, more just directing towards the latter murals. I suggest that it's pointing to the earlier murals isn't this world.
Quite possibly.
You said you had a vision, Ran,
Yes.
of... Does it expand upon what we see here?
Not particularly. Just double check.
I have a theory.
A game theory.
No.
Thanks for watching.
Presumably, right, the wall that you come from, right, it's been there for centuries.
You talking to me, yeah?
Yeah. But presumably, it
yeah.
wasn't always there.
No, at least not at one stage.
And they also, they mentioned in the library that they didn't have any books from near the wall, which leads me to believe that this depicts the time before the wall was erected.
More just casting an eye to the earlier murals. Aye, that does look about right. But then, I guess the only confusing part is why depict a second moon? Is it a metaphor? Or is it literal?
What if it's not moons we're looking at?
Go on.
What if it's the eyes of something watching from far away? Some unfathomable being.
I'll turn to Ran. That's unbelievable. At least from what you saw in your vision, you were probably a lot more physically there than we can be just looking at this.
Scale is off. That's... How big would something have to be to watch like that? Are you being less literal than I'm thinking?
I mean, art uses a lot of them fancy metaphors, so it could just be a visualization of what they felt to be a malevolent force that seemed to be watching.
Could be she. She's always watching.
You do know that if she's who I'm talking about, that's a bad thing, right? You know that's a bad thing. if she was watching these people, and based on the way that things went, whatever was watching them is very likely responsible for the shit that's pouring out from near where Eidolon's from.
Let's pray that it isn't her then. She is all good. She would not do such a thing.
And regardless, the air quotations shit spewing out, that was dealt with. As he more just thinks for a second. 200? No, it would be about 200 years ago. But no, I agree with the potential metaphorical nature of it, but as I'd more just turned to Lucius at that point, have you been able to derive anything from it? You seem to know what you're talking about here.
Not really. The story seems to be centered around this man and this woman. I assume they are precursors of some kind. The statue perhaps dedicated to them. I guess what strikes me as odd or strange is, I guess, the final mural, the final fresco for the woman, for the female. She has been drawn with so much colour, and yet her mural is dead. It seems odd.
Is the location of where that mural's depicting discernible?
I think I may have seen something like it before, but I can't place my finger on it.
You said the one with the man in it, it looks like he's leading an army.
Yes.
Just like an army of knights, or?
You're not too sure, as the colours are a bit too dark to discern. The only reason you can kind of assume it's more of an army, as the light that is being portrayed in the painting seems to be glimmering off of very mismatched armour.
Interesting.
These people are likely ancient and revered. Based on this temple, it's very likely these people are 1, ancient, and 2, revered. Marcusar, he points at the woman. What if that's your she? What if that's her?
Could be.
I'm
not wise enough to know.
We have no way of telling if a man or a woman, if given enough worship, could become a god. The she is a deity, correct?
She is. She is all. She is everything. She's the grass we walk on, the grain that we eat.
That leads to some interesting implications, but I'm going to go with what you're saying.
I don't think he means it as literally as you're thinking.
I know, right.
Nor do I want to imagine what you're thinking.
I'm being funny. Right, staring at pretty pictures is very interesting for postulating ideas. However, I think we should get going deeper in.
Just as a side note, Paul, obviously just because you're of level is now, just because you were asking about the plants earlier, technically, because you now have access to plant growth.
I do have plant growth.
If you wanted to revive the plants, doing a little bit of reading whilst you're RPing, you have the ability to, with plant growth, you have the ability to give them vitality for a year.
I think Marcusar would do that just before we all head out of this room, go back over to the flowers, and he would do plant growth.
Yeah, I was just checking, as I don't actually know what plant growth did. I've never taken it, even as a druid. It kind of seems very, very circumstantial.
You'd have to cast it for more than is it 8 hours, or it's somewhere around that for them to be enriched for a year.
So
if not, they're only enriched for 8 hours.
If you cast a spell over 8 hours, you enrich the land. All plant in a half-mile radius centered on a point within range becomes enriched for 1 year. The plants yield twice the normal amount of food when harvested.
Okay, so you'd have to cast it for 8 hours if you wanted them to be enriched for a year. If not, they just...
they come back and then die again.
Well, I think we need to move on. I don't think we have time to sit here for 8 hours. So,
as Marcus our plant whispers.
I don't think you've got anything else.
I give them some of my water.
Wholesome. Yeah. As I said, I never actually knew what the spell did, so.
Alright, moving on.
I didn't know I had it until before this call.
That's because you didn't level up properly and you've had a week to do so.
I've been busy. I had assignments and shit.
That's fair. To be fair, so have I. Life of a uni student trying to play D&D. saddening sometimes. More of the passing as you guys kind of gather yourselves and begin to move through the corridors, or begin to move into the corridor through the archway. Marcusar, you open up your water skin and offer some of the plants some water, dampening the soil for the first time in, well, God knows how long. Or should I say she knows how long. But the plants seem to respond quite quickly to the water, and you can even see some of them start to almost unfurl and uncurl and start to bloom again. And as they do so, can Eidolon, Ranagash and Wolfric, can you give me perception checks? Marcusar, you will see this naturally as you're still technically in the room and not really passing through it as you're doing this.
Okay. +9 to perception. Well done.
Well done, Matthew!
We're all tired.
Wolfric, you are, I guess, a little bit more oblivious to this. Eidolon, you are able to catch it out of the corner of your eye. And Ranagash, for the first time, perhaps ever, you notice something. As Marcusar and Ranagash, you kind of see that the final mural, the one of the woman kind of standing in the dead garden, it starts to bloom. The flowers on the mural start to come back to life. And Marcusar, you don't really hear this, though you can almost see that the mural, the fresco itself, seems to shift slightly. Ranagash, you hear it almost click and drop, almost as if something's unlocked.
What just happened?
Seems the dungeon seems to like that.
Did that do anything more than just make the mural light up?
Some mechanism went off, but nothing obvious has changed in here.
I guess Marcusar would go up to the fresco, and these are just like paintings hung on the wall, correct?
So they're painted into the wall,
Painted
or
into
painted
the
on
wall,
on the wall, probably on the wall rather than into the wall. But yes.
Yeah. And there was a click behind it.
Can we give it a push?
I try just placing my hand on it.
It's a stone
Like-
wall.
I exert a little bit of force.
It slowly starts to grind across the ground, where you can feel very warm air escape through seams.
Secret tunnel. Secret
tunnel.
Through the mountain. I push it all the way through.
Now we get to see if the Roll20 is going to play ball with my OBS.
As Marcusar pushes open the door, Wolfric goes, "Oh, I fucking love this magic shit, y'all know." Now this is excellent. I like this.
This is cool. As you push open to a small kind of landing with a set of stairs in a relatively worse for wear state. Looks quite solid, but again, a little bit worse for wear given the age of this place. That seems to lead down into more of a white or marbled archway, though you can't really see much beyond it. Though the room, even going into the corridor, is filled with warm air. Like very, very warm.
Wow, kind of warm in there. But we can't stand here and stare and marble at it all day, so let's get going.
Boo!
That was 2 in 1, baby! Yeah!
Can I walk in front of Wolfric instead?
So, how are you all? Are you all heading down the stairs? First question.
Guess Marcusar is
How
leading.
bright is it?
It's pretty bright, surprisingly. There's not a lot of light in this place. You've been very much relying on your axe, the light of Wolfric's axe. However, almost like moonlight, there is light coming up these stairs. And as you're making your way down, with Marcusar leading you, the light only gets brighter, this very, very almost pure white light. We're getting to the bottom of the stairs. You guys see this. A underground spring that seems to be being fed by a waterfall that is most likely part of the underground river that you guys encountered nearby the bridge. However, the difference here is quite stark, as you can see that the water above feeding the waterfall is very, very murky, it's very, very dark, it's very kind of, I guess, quite dirty. The water in this spring is crystal clear. There is no imperfections in it at all. It is, you can see right to the bottom, you can see every stone, you can see every small creature crawling across the ground, you can even see fish in this river, or in this kind of pond. Similarly, at the centre of the pond, upon its own, I guess, earth plateau, with its roots trailing into the water, you can see a blooming tree. It seems to be living, thriving down here, almost giving life and feeding everything that lives here.
Could I try to discern what kind of tree it might be? Whether it's just like a common tree or something else.
You can give me a nature roll.
I've done very few of them since we started this, so I feel like I should get on it.
I'll be damned. It's a blooming tree.
Shut up.
How do we vote
Make
take
me.
Wolfert from D&D?
See, I can't
There's
kill
gonna
him
be
now,
a-
that'd just be too obvious.
Can't
For all of
silence
you
me.
for all of you watching at home, we're gonna do a poll, and if you all vote to get rid of Ewan's character, it will be happening.
I will be publicly executed live on YouTube.
Technically, if we actually had, I think it's 1,000 subscribers, we could technically do a poll like that, because then you get access to the community tab. So we could just
tempt
poll
them.
for Ewan's death. But with your nature roll, Marcusar, even with a 15, you are unable to identify this tree. From its roots, from its bark, even from its leaves, you have no clue what this tree is. You have never seen a tree like it before. For all intents and purposes, this tree, unless it was like a willow, but then the water would be a lot more swampy, this tree should be dead. It should have died a long time ago.
I would like to detect magic.
Detecting magic, the whole place seems to almost radiate magic. The tree itself, almost literally you can see it like threads being connected to every single thing that exists in these waters. However, with your detect magic, you also notice something else.
Okay.
More off-centered in the water, almost, I guess, kind of buried by a few stones, kind of shimmering and shining, and it's light. You see the outline of a weapon.
I wade into the water to get close to the weapon.
Cool. So on your character sheet, Marcusar,
Yeah.
you can now add 21 temporary hit points.
Oh, hell yeah.
As you begin to make your way into the water. You guys almost watch as the water seems almost alive as it starts to crawl up Marcusar and starts to emit a very strange blue glow. Marcusar, you yourself feel your vitality empowered, your constitution strengthened as you make your way over to this weapon.
I reach down into the water and grab the weapon.
It doesn't look particularly unique, I guess. When you kind of look at it through the crystal clear the almost ripples as you're moving, it almost looks like a farmer's sickle.
Ooh.
It looks a little bit more ornate than that when you take it out of the water. It seems to almost glow in a similar way to the moonlight that seems to fill this cavern. And when you hold it, it almost feels warm.
Okay.
Not burning, just warm.
I sort of turn to the party. It's like, I don't know what to make of this.
Take it.
What's a sickle?
But why is it here?
Why is anything anywhere?
You're currently standing in a spring and the bottom of a ruined cave next to a tree that really shouldn't be alive right now, and the sickle is what you question.
And I have a flaming axe. None of this makes sense.
He just points at the flaming axe.
I
Maybe ask
suggest
your she about it sometime.
I will do, but right now I suggest you all wade in the water. It seems to have given me life.
Wolfric reaches down, scoops up some of the water, and drinks it.
Turns out you're only
Wow.
supposed to let it go on your skin and it just
Yeah,
burns
I
you
just
from the
fucking
inside.
die.
You get eaten alive by fey creatures.
I mean, I might just change the effect to avoid us and have to list any more of his jokes.
I'll just make a character who'll make more.
You'll just make a bard.
You can kill the character, you can't kill the jokes.
Oh, we can kill you though.
Actually, that is frowned upon in most places.
If you have any hit points missing, Ewan, you gain 7 hit points.
Let's go. I am back on full hit points.
As you almost feel the water stitch your wounds back together.
Pretty cool.
I suggest we all fill our skins.
Glug, 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 glug.
Water
We
skin.
take only what we need.
I've now affixed the sickle to my side.
Pretty sick.
I'll let the rest of them fill up indeed.
You're not taking any of the magic water, Craig?
No, more out of what will be the term?
I playfully splash the water in Eidolon's direction.
Oh no.
Haha, you're wet now.
And what happens?
Unrestrained summer fun.
Craig.
See, this is why I didn't fill up on water.
Roll me a d20, just flat. We'll see if it's odds or evens. Odds being your left-hand side, there you go. Evens being your right-hand side. Nothing
I'm
occurs.
sorry.
Okay. And more just like put my right hand up and just like more just to stop the water from hitting
Craig
my face.
is like that guy who works at a bakery, but he lied about not having a debilitating peanut allergy. So now every day is a 50-50 chance he fucking dies.
I'd more just like, since Markstar did that to me, more in good fashion, I reach him with my right hand onto the water and just splash him back. Specifically with my right hand side.
Lucius does a cannonball? I don't know.
Fuck yeah. This is the beach episode we wanted.
This
We never leave this
Lucius has got a tearaway suit on, and he's just got like an old-timey bathing suit on underneath.
No, he ends up being ripped underneath his like
Just
stupid wizard robes.
Fucking.
He's like the dude from Avatar, the Earth Kingdom guy. Just
Boomy.
like, yes!
King Boomy.
King Boomy.
Sadness.
Oh.
You didn't expect that, did you, Em?
I should have. I really should have.
Like,
I'm very glad my suspicions were correct and I didn't go into the water.
there's no way out of this, right?
Mm-mm. Unless you want to try and
Back
scale
to
a
where we came.
waterfall, but...
Like, we should probably just continue on along the actual, like, I
Right.
guess the main path.
Let's go backwards.
Actually, did you work out what kind of tree that was, Paul?
It was a magic tree of like I couldn't discern what it was. It was not like an oak or a willow or anything
It's
like
a magic tree.
Then more
that.
in
It's a
character.
magic tree.
In character, I'll turn to Markstar and just say, then do you have any idea what any of this is, or?
I have no idea.
Well, it's a tree. And it's
Of course
it's
it-
a
of
spring
course it's a
from
tree. But it's no tree I've ever seen.
Now I'm gonna go out on a limb here,
Please do.
and I'm gonna say we should leave.
As I'm assuming the four of you and Lucius head back up the stairs and towards the corridor.
No,
my
we just leave
friend.
Lucius down there.
It's my friends and Zoidberg.
As we walk past the flower bed again, I want to put a bit of that water into the flower bed.
The flowers seem almost instantly revived.
Hell yeah. And what does the painting look like? Is it more brighter and full of life?
It almost looks like as it once was once it was originally painted. The garden that she now stands upon or the glade that she now stands in is completely covered in flowers. You can even see that some of the stone pillars that surround her are wrapped in vines. You can see the leaves returning to the trees in the glade around her as well. And the sky almost seems to be a brighter shade of blue.
Interesting. Let us carry on.
A little bit of a shame that it only lit up one of them, because it could have been nice to like light up all of them and see if we could put something together.
Start chucking water at all the frescoes.
Oh, hell yeah. So yeah,
As
continue.
you guys head through the archway and into the corridor, where it splits off left and right. You can see that the right-hand passage kind of only has one bend, one turn in it. And the left-hand passage seems to split off again, going north and south.
Okay. Velma, Daphne, you come with me. Shaggy, Scooby, you go that way.
Who's who? I need to know who's who.
Let's split up and look for clues. Let's not do that. Wow, fucking wow.
I'm sorry,
Fur
Ewan,
disapproves
I'm
of
sorry.
all of you.
I'll just
That's
duck out
very
the camera
fair.
shot. I just won't be here anymore.
Right.
Are we going left or right?
Right.
We treat it like a maze. Always turn left.
I look
And then
between Wolfbrick and Marcus are just like...
Why do you immediately contrast what I'm saying? I'm saying we go right because that has the smallest amount of turns.
But there's more to the left. It might be more likely that the way out would be that way.
We can go back.
We're also not looking for the way out. We're looking for whatever's in here for that old chucklefuck.
Excuse
We are
me?
looking for things.
Fine.
You know he can hear you, right?
I'm fully well aware he can hear me.
Right. Let's go. And you
Right or left? My
Right.
left or your?
I'm turning
You're
right
right.
and
You're
walking
right.
down the corridor.
Marcus, I will hit you. Don't think I won't. I will hit you. And from the fights we've had, from the fights we've had, it doesn't look very hard. Right, let's get going.
That was a threat. That was a tangible threat.
It was a promise.
I mean,
I
to be
don't
fair, we've all been on edge with Marcus ever since he killed a man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I thought we were on good terms now.
No, not yet.
No, you're all a bitch.
We all go right.
Why are we bullying everybody this session?
I don't know what the
Wait,
fuck's going on.
staged right or? You're right.
I will hit you in real life, Paul. I will fucking spark your jaw.
We go right.
We go right,
go right.
regular person right.
Wait, hold on. I gotta make the L's in my hands.
I actually do that
Go-
That way.
because I don't know my left
Going-
from my right. I genuinely do that.
I'd like to go right, please.
2 wrongs don't make a right, but 3 rights make a left.
And one mistake makes a dead body. Now let's get going.
What do we see when we enter the room?
It's not a room, it's more corridor.
Corridor, more corridor.
As you end up in quite a long corridor, you can see it veer off to the left at the end of said corridor, but there are
My
numerous
left or your left?
doors. The left.
The left.
The map's
Um,
starting to freak out for me a little bit with the black and white. That's just me.
There's like a blacked out bar.
There
in
is a
between
blacked out
two-
bar in between. That's because there's a upper floor to one of the other sections that I can't show you guys right now. So
Okay,
you're
okay.
kind of missing a section of the map. But you can kind of see that there are 2 doors on the right hand side of the corridor, and there are 3 doors on the left hand side of the corridor.
Should we all take a room each? Split
Yeah.
the party in 5.
Yeah, I can agree with the room each. That doesn't sound too bad.
Right, breach and clear.
I'll go for the first room.
I'll go for the second room.
I'll go for the 3rd. Lucius, are you good checking that one? I point to one of the doors on the right.
I mean, he shrugs. Are you taking a room yourself as well, Ran?
It doesn't look like I have much choice.
Some cooperation would be nice.
Divide and conquer, you know?
So, ordering Eidolon, Wolfric, Marcusar, Lucius, then Ran.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
So Eidolon will kind of look at you first. The
Is
room,
the room lit?
no. As you head into the room, and when you're kind of walking past, you do see some, but the light slowly fades as the light of Wolfric's axe disappears.
Do I have torches in the pack I have? Do explorers' packs have torches?
Most packs do, or at least they have a tinder box so you can have a tiny match.
Tinderbox and 10 torches. I light a torch. If we were 1 level higher, I could have just done spooky bullshit and gotten magical dark vision instead of just regular dark vision.
Magic hat.
So, with your torch now lit, it takes you a few attempts to light it, but you are able to. It seems to be quite a small bedroom you're in. You can see a couple of sets of bunk beds against one of the walls, and you can kind of see more of a small desk and living space with I guess a few dusted personal artifacts kind of littering the room.
Anything of note, or is that about it?
Not really in here. The room seems to be very much empty.
No point in performing an investigation, or what?
That's up to you.
I'll perform an investigation because I think that's more what I'm doing rather than perception. I wouldn't call what I'm doing perceiving. Investigating. It's a 16, not too bad.
As you're kind of walking around, you're kind of more, I guess, turning your attention towards quite a few of the, I guess, the more aged artifacts that are lying around this room. Perhaps a lot of the, or more of the personal belongings of the people who once lived here. A lot of them seem to crumble when you pick them up. The age is just not with them anymore. However, there are a few, I suppose, more metal artifacts that take your attention.
Okay.
Particularly a few necklaces.
Why do they take my attention?
Because though very different in their design, they seem to be a bit more, perhaps a bit more elaborate and a bit more floral in a lot of their decorations. They're not too dissimilar from your own sigil.
Oh, okay. Is it only the floral parts of it that set it apart?
A few of the lines and a few of the markings are different. The Watchman symbol very much seems to be I guess, a very simplified version of this emblem. But this seems to be, I guess, a more elaborate or perhaps a Precursor version.
Okay, yeah. I would take them more just as exemplar pieces, probably to hand to Lucius for his own research, as much as I don't want to.
But other than that, there is nothing really of interest in this kind of bedroom, in this living space. As Wolfric, as you head through your door into your room, you notice that it seems to be a church of some kind, or a chapel of some kind. A few pews kind of sitting side by side of a, I guess, narrowing aisle. However, you can also see in the light of your axe, several skeletons seem to litter a few of the benches. And beside each one seems to have a tankard. Though nothing else really seems to strike you about this room. There is no shrine to a god, there is no, I guess, elaborate carving. Nothing really, I guess, interesting.
Kind of paces up and down the pews, investigating the general area.
Give me a wee investigation.
Ominous music starts to play.
Perhaps.
21.
21. There's nothing really, I guess, hidden from this in this room. As you're kind of pacing the aisle, you can see that even a few of the skeletons are holding their tankards, almost as if they were still drinking when they had passed. The only other thing that you kind of find that, I guess, is a little bit, I guess, worth it, though you're very delicate and very careful with it, is it looks like if you move too quickly with it, it's probably going to fall apart, is an old prayer book that was upon the altar. You can't really make out a lot of what it's saying, mostly just because the ink is faded. It needs a lot of restoration work done to it, but it seems to be dedicated to the eternal cycle rather than to one specific deity or one specific faith. It seems to be dedicated to life and death and night and day.
Kind of gently picks it up. Anything else? Is that it?
That seems to be it.
Gently pick up the prayer book, kind of look it over in one hand, go, right, I'll be taking this, the rest of you can go back to being bone idol, and he just leaves the room.
As
Really
Marcus
tested my patience here.
Why did Ewan just wake up and choose to do this today?
yeah, as Marcusar. Heading through your door, things get dark as the axe, or the light of the axe fades.
I pull out the sickle and hold it out.
It kind of radiates. It radiates a little bit of light, not enough for you to see in the room.
It's like, worth a shot. I guess I'll light a torch and all.
The
What
room
can
you
I see
seem
in the room?
the room you seem to have found yourself in appears to be another bedroom, though this one is a little bit more grandiose in terms of its design. It appears to be a more master suite. You can see a double bed, a collection of bookshelves across the wall, a desk, a dresser, even a rug across the stone floor. In the bed, you can see a skeleton, and upon a side table next to him, you can also see a tankard.
Can I examine the tankard?
What kind of thing would you be, I guess, looking for?
See if there's anything still in it.
Oh,
Unlikely, but...
Give me investigation.
I'm not good at these. Oh,
Definitely not.
I have 3D dice on roll 20, and it was cocked for me. It was on 17 and it rolled over to 3. I'm annoyed.
Aww.
You don't really get to see anything in the glass or in the tankard. It seems that whatever was here, whatever was left here, has, at least to your eye, has disappeared. There's no liquid or residue left in the glass.
Can I discern from the skeleton what race they are?
Give
Probably
me another investigation.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's better.
That's a lot better.
It appears they were an elf. What type of elf, whether they be high elf, wood elf, or even a drow, you're not too sure, but they do appear to be elven both in their structure and what is left of their facial structure.
And what about the... so there's like a desk and bookshelves. Can I peruse the book, see what's on there?
Give me another wee investigation. Many investigations
just
being rolled.
Instead of investigate the whole room, investigate things
Individually.
in smaller amount. Yeah.
There doesn't really appear to be very much on the desk. Old parchment and papers, though you can't really discern any of the writing upon them, as the ink is completely faded or the pages have crumbled. A lot of the books are very similar. The leathers are still intact. A lot of the books themselves, like the titles along the spines or any emblems or depictions of what the books could be about, have completely faded. Even trying to pull some of them from the shelves to look at what they're about, they almost crumble in your hands.
Okay. Don't know there's much else to examine in here.
As we jump to Ranagash. As I can't really tell you what Lucius is investigating because none of you are Lucius.
Fair.
As when the light fades...
I lean into Lucius's room and is like, you find anything in here?
As when the light fades, you're completely fine, Ran, because you have dark vision. So yes, the colours, I guess, kinda are stripped away from your sight, but you are still able to see what is around you and still able to navigate with relative ease. As you make your way through the door and find yourself in what looks like, I guess, a pantry or a kitchen. Perhaps more of a communal space that was used for mealtimes. What strikes you quite a lot when you come into the room is the smell of alcohol, which is most likely left in some of the casks and has been fermenting for God knows how long. You reckon that if you were to probably take a drink of this, it's probably not going to end well.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it just feels like we've wandered into a vault-tech vault.
Does, doesn't it?
Gary!
There are a lot more skeletons in this room, all kind of sitting at, I guess, tables, as if they were in the middle of merriment. Some of them even look like they were in prayer or perhaps even studying. All of them have a tankard in front of them. Some of them even still holding tankards. Though other than that, there doesn't appear to be, I guess, other than the strong smell of alcohol and dead bodies, much in here.
Like, I don't think I can investigate the alcohol because I don't think I can read the labels. So it's, do I want to look at the bodies and do I want to look at anything that's potentially being cooked?
I mean, you could go and
Maybe
open a barrel and sniff it. That's a good way to test alcohol. Is you get obviously the damp scent as you walk into the room, but you could crack one of the barrels open and stick your nose in it.
The old-fashioned way.
Or you could,
Fuck around and
and
find
hear
out.
me out, not do that.
Yeah, no, I don't want to smell the beer stank.
Find a strange substance in a dungeon and just lick it. Go for it.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
You are not immune to the dungeon jungle juice.
No, yeah, so I'll pass on sniffing the forbidden alcohol and just get the hell out of Dodge, I guess. There's not much here.
That's fair. As the four of you reconvene in the hall, obviously Marksar and Eidolon, you now have torches. Wolfric, you still have your axe, and Ran, you're just Ran. You don't need any light source.
Where's Lucius?
Wait, which door did we send him into?
First door on the right.
Can I head
That's
into
all.
that room?
Let's all go check.
As you head into the room, and Lucius seems to, I guess, be in his element, as the four of you walk into what looks like an old-fashioned library.
We send him into the right room.
In terms of random draw, yeah, he got the right room. as it is a old-fashioned two-story chain library, though it looks like a lot of the books and a lot of the tomes within the library have decayed and aged over time to the point where even as Lucius handles them, he tries to handle them as carefully as possible, but some of them just crumble. They crack and disintegrate in his hands. There is, I guess, something that I suppose catches your eye, Eidolon, given your passive perception.
Hello.
Something that I guess Lucius has either not noticed or perhaps it's on his radar and he's just not focused on it yet. On the second story of the library, and amongst all the dusty books, there is a dusted glassed case that seems completely untouched.
Does it look easy to get to the second floor of the library?
Yeah, there's a old ladder. It's made of metal, so positives, it's not going to crumble under your feet from wood rot.
Yeah, I'll head over.
As you head up and over to the dusted case. I'm assuming
See what's up
wiping.
with this weird thing.
I'm assuming wiping the dust away from the glass.
Yeah, see what's inside.
Inside appears to be a book. Nothing else is in this. It is a kind of slanted podium for the book. Nothing else is in the glass case. Nothing else seems to be around the book. The inside of the case seems to be absolutely pristine. And you even notice that the book itself seems to almost glimmer and shine.
Who was it that casted Detect Magic before?
Marcusar.
I did.
I'd lean over would I be able to lean over a banister or something like that to look down at them, or what?
You could, but I would advise doing it very carefully, as that is made out of wood, so it is susceptible to wood rot.
I'd more just look over and find Marcusar amidst the people who are down there, and it's like, Marcusar,
Yeah,
I found something up here. Mind coming up and taking a look?
absolutely. They come up the stairs.
In the forest, when we were looking for the lost girl, you... How do I describe this? Saw magic.
Correct, I could see runes in the trees.
If you could do that now, I want to make sure that opening this case won't have any adverse effects.
Well, my Detect Magic should still be up. Because 10 minutes, right?
And minutes.
So, what do I see, if anything?
The case itself does not appear to be magical.
Yeah.
That's fine.
However, the shimmer and shine that you can see around the book is also, using your Detect Magic, tied to the podium it is standing on. You reckon it is most likely a ward of some kind that may or may not explode.
I relay this information to Eidolon and suggest that we leave it to be.
I guess my only question then, does it look like it would be safe to read the book instead of just taking it off the podium?
It doesn't necessarily say... It doesn't necessarily seem like opening it would be harmful. Perhaps just removing it.
Then maybe take a step back.
I'll leave that to your discretion, and I go back down the stairs.
So, opening the case was said to be fine.
Yes, the case seems to be fine.
Okay. I'd give a thumbs up down to Marcusar as I'd open up the case.
Cool. Can you give me a wee strength?
Just a strength. Can I use athletics?
Yeah, I'll let you use your athletics for it.
Is it my... 13.
Cool. As when you open it, the air from inside almost erupts with quite a monumentous force, almost knocking you off the balcony itself. And you take 13 damage.
As I'd more just shout down to Marcusar, I thought you said opening the case was alright!
The case just wasn't magic.
Ah!
It was just the book and the podium.
As I'd hoist myself back up onto the balcony.
Lucius joins you, obviously hearing the commotion and hearing something of interest more than anything else.
As I'll go over and have a look at the book before Lucius can get there, because I don't want him getting to this book first. Or out of spite than anything else.
My book.
Like,
Where did this grudge come from?
I opened this case, so I want to know what's in it, not this rando.
As you are looking through the book, or I guess flicking through it before Lucius has the time to take the book from you.
Well, no, I'd want to look at the title first. Whatever it's titled could be important.
It doesn't have a title.
Then yes, I would flick through it. At this point, it looks like it's okay to take it off of the bloody plinth.
It appears to be a spell tome, or a spell book of some kind. A lot of the words seem to read like incantations, or more ritualistic in terms of their phrasing. One of the things I guess that strikes you as a little bit interesting is it seems to have a depiction of the archway from the fresco room.
Isn't the thing we walked through?
Yeah, so the thing you walk through to get into these corridors, the very elaborate archway that stood centre of the back wall fresco, it seems to have a depiction of that. Obviously no corridors or walls around it, just the archway. As well as almost it in two different states. One where you just see the archway, the description with incantations and runes dedicated along one side of the page, and as you're flicking through it you see another set of paragraphs, another set of dedications, but this time it almost looks, or at least through its painting, looks more like a portal in terms of like the very traditional like wibbly lines.
Yeah, that makes enough sense. I'd leave it for Lucius in that case.
As he kind of takes it from you. This is very interesting. You didn't happen to find anything else?
Not up here, no. Especially not after it exploded.
Well, you seem alright.
I would grace him with no additional words and head down the ladder.
Did everyone, bar myself, get the extra temporary hit points? Or was it just me because I waded into the water?
It was
I got
just
healed.
you and got healed.
It was just... I splashed Eidolon. Did he not get temporary hit points, or did he just get healed?
He didn't even
Water
get
does
healed.
nothing to me.
Water does nothing to you. God, you must stink.
Magic water does nothing to me, thank you very much.
I
have clean hygiene. I'm not looking good for wear. I only have 19 hit points of 42.
Imagine not having 21 temporary hit points.
Lucius.
Yes?
He holds up the prayer book. I found this in a chapel.
He kind of makes his way down, comes over and takes it from you. Starts flicking through some of the pages, though very, very carefully, as it does slowly kind of crumble. This will be very interesting. Very
I'd also
interesting
pass-
indeed.
I'd also
These
pass
guys
him
were-
a singular piece of the jewellery that I found. Less carefully than you and gave him something.
This makes sense. I guess it would make sense if it's tied to... He kind of stops immediately what he's thinking, he stops what he's saying, and you just kind of watch as he more stares at Eidolon and then specifically walks away from the four of you, walks kind of back to some of the shelves and starts muttering to himself again, but in very, very hushed tones, so the four of you can't hear him.
He's been well trained. Anyway, shall we leave him here and look through the rest of this place?
Yes.
I'm not sure it's good to leave him by himself. Lucius, can you do your muttering with us?
I'd glare at him through the gaps in the bookshelves.
I'll be fine. I just inform me if you find anything else. I will conduct some more of my research here for now.
Okay.
Good. I guess just before we leave, I'll do one last once over, just look around the room, make sure this place is actually safe and nothing's going to jump him the second we leave.
Give me a wee investigation.
Marksar, if you can maybe help with that just for the magic side of
would be
things,
looking
because you've
around
got
as
the
well.
detect magic
Yeah,
up.
I guess I'm still looking to see if there's any magical items about.
That's only a 12. So look around.
Magic-wise and I guess non-magical-wise, there doesn't seem to be anything else in this room. It just seems to be a library.
Fair enough.
Again, the only thing that you kind of notice, though Lucius has pushed several of them off of the table to give himself room to find some books, there is now skeletons upon the floor and empty tankards upon the table.
Did anyone else notice the empty tankards?
Does it look like the tankard's ever held in liquid?
You're not too sure.
I checked in the bedroom. I checked. There was a man or woman, don't actually know, laying in the bed, and an empty tankard next to the bed, and all the skeletons in the library had tankards as well.
Is there any indication of what liquid this could be?
Oh,
To my knowledge,
oh Christ. Can't be good.
poison.
Definitely not good stuff.
Probably poison. Yeah, probably poison.
Either that or overindulgence of whatever that spring was.
Really? Do you think it could have been the spring?
I'm not sure. I'm spitballing. Yes, it had beneficial properties, but what could happen if you keep drinking from that too much? I don't know.
The fucking dude from Mad Max Fury Road is just like, do not rely on water; it'll sicken you or whatever.
Matthew, does Ranagash look as quizzical as you do?
I bet. Yeah, sure.
In that case, probably having noticed that with passive perception. You have any ideas then?
No, just in the kitchen. All the skeletons had empty, well, presumably empty tankards as well, and didn't think it was anything of relevance. But this is some vast conspiracy we're fielding here, and perhaps.
Maybe these guys were a cult and they all did like a sort of group suicide.
That would
Sorry?
explain. No, the alcohol.
Alcohol?
Yes, plenty of it, but wouldn't advise drinking. It seems beyond its best.
But it was just alcohol, yes?
Presumably, I couldn't read the labels.
Right.
Oh.
Let's get going and have a look in some other rooms.
We could technically go try have a look at the labels, because I can read some parts of this strange precursor language, and Marksar can read some other parts of this precursor language, so me and Marksar could try put together what the label says.
Put your single brain cell together.
Allow them to experience a thought when they clash into each other on the screensaver.
Worth a shot. Should we just go check the barrels?
We'll follow Ranagash to the barrels if he leads us there.
Yeah, sure.
Barrels.
What?
Barrels.
As you head back towards and into the kitchens, where again the four of you are now, or at least the three of you, are now privy to the sense that Ranagash was first accosted by when he walked into this room. Very, very strong smelling, very damp smelling alcohol.
Oh, that's fucking honking.
That's bouffing, mate, honestly.
Gives me the book.
It gives me the book.
Everyone suddenly reverts to primal language.
Marcus,
We're gonna have to put translations in the subtitles.
You'll figure it out.
you give me a nature check, because I'm assuming that's higher than your history.
Who are you asking?
You.
Ooh.
Oh. Absolutely, I'll do a nature check.
The druid's doing druid things.
That's why I meant it.
Nice. Surprisingly, our druid is being a good druid.
It's for the first time, honestly, at this point.
You
He's very
started
low on this before.
start of the campaign as a bad druid, very bad druid.
As when you walk into this room, the smell is very, very strong. The smell is very, very potent, and very much the smell of alcohol, though an underlying scent that perhaps is a little bit more familiar to you. Though you can't put your finger on what the scent is, it just smells very much like incense, or at least a type of incense. Something that perhaps you would burn during, like, the solstice, one of your religious celebrations, or even perhaps during a group prayer.
Okay. There was Nightshade in one of the earlier rooms of this dungeon. Can I get any notes of that, or is it just kind of the incense?
You're not too sure, at least from the scent, though if you were to crack one of the barrels open, you could perhaps either get a stronger scent, or I guess do the best you can in terms of an alchemical test on the liquid without drinking it.
Okay, I try and open up one of the tops of the kegs.
I'll take a look at the barrels whilst the title, like the labels on the barrels, whilst he's doing that.
When you open it, it is very easy to open. It's just a barreled keg. It's not too difficult to pry open. The inside, the liquid seems very, very dark, though in the light of your torches, more, I guess, glistening, it glistens a slight purple in hue, which isn't very typical for most alcohols. In fact, any alcohol you have ever come across has not been purple.
Strange.
With regards to writing upon the labels, Eidolon,
Mm-hmm.
there doesn't really seem to be, I guess, any specifics, though you notice that a lot of them are labelled as, like, for example, mead or ale, different types of alcohol. The barrel that Marcusar has pried the lid off of, as well as maybe 2 or 3 barrels beside it, all have the lettering or the kind of words that you can pick out as being the final batch.
I would convey that information to Marcusar with a slight warning tone to it as he's cracking it open.
Ooh, yummy, I'm grabbing a ladle.
No, go right ahead. Go right for it.
What was it? Did it say the last batch or the last barrel?
The
Last
final
batch.
batch.
The final batch. This definitely seems like very ritualistic. The fact that they all died drinking.
The final batch.
The final batch.
What's the final batch for a reason?
I suppose there might be something in that prayer book that Lucius is studying that might help, but he'll
No.
relay that information to us, maybe.
We'll come back and see once we've looked through the rest of this place. I think we know what we can know from here now.
Yeah.
Unless we
I
want to start
think-
drinking.
Perhaps not. I think I'll sip in my water skin and be like, I'm off it.
He's moved on from that.
Shall we just explore the rest of the dungeon?
Yeah, let's head left.
So top left, or head
Is that-
back down and then...
I say, let's just continue through this corridor first, then we can double back on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that way.
As the corridor loops back around,
It already doubles back on itself. Perfect.
it does, yes. As it opens out into quite a large entry room, or what looks like an entry room. You can see a very grandiose set of stairs that seem to lead down into this room. The floor itself is beautifully marbled and very ornately mosaiced. You can see that it has been caved in. You can see that water seems to be streaming down the stairs. You're not too sure where from. And you can see a stone guardian standing by the stairs. Its friend has been completely crushed by the cave-in.
Have a prayer for the big dude.
Pour one out for the homies.
There seems to be more of the writing upon the base of his statue, though you're not too sure what it says, as yes, you and Markstar can pick up bits, but in sentences like this, in proper phrasing, the two of you are lost. And obviously Lucius isn't here to translate.
So I guess we see the ways to go would be like to the left or to the right.
Yeah, so you have little corridor to your left, this, or I guess to your right because you're coming in from this door, or the top door, and then you have the stairways on your left-hand side that seem to be going up.
I'll be honest, those stairways look pretty final, so I think we should probably finish up the small corridors first.
I agree.
It's the
Though if-
final staircase.
Ah!
On that note, I'm maybe thinking of picking up the bass guitar.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, because all of my friends have an instrument, and I feel inadequate.
So yeah, are you breaking down the little corridor rather than going up the final staircase?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
break down the little corridor.
And hopefully we can get back here relatively quickly.
That works.
Pretend we didn't see that.
Yeah, you didn't see that. This is why it's like I need more screens. I just need to be able to see everything. As you guys head down a relatively long corridor, and come to a small room with a very ornate stone door and 4 statues surrounding you, kind of at each corner of the room.
What do these statues look like?
So kind of going from, I guess, your left, so, and then round in a circle. You have a female statue that seems to be holding a bowl that seems to have a stone dog carved around her feet.
Aw, what kind of dog?
It looks like perhaps a wolfhound. Very big, very scraggly. The second statue...
Marks are with the pets so much.
Then do it. Live your dreams.
The second statue holds a bowl in one hand, and in his other hand holds a hilt of a blade, so like rests his hand on a hilt of a blade at his side. The third statue holds a bowl high above his head, and the fourth statue is another male statue that seems to be holding a bowl in one hand, similar to the second statue, though his hand, rather than resting upon the hilt of a blade, is resting upon the cover or the spine of a book. There does appear to be writing upon the door, however you cannot translate it.
So wait, the first one was a woman with a bowl in her hands and a dog at her feet. What was the second one?
A man holding a bowl in one hand, and then holding a hilt of a blade in another.
Okay.
The third one is a man holding a bowl above his head, and the
Okay.
fourth one is a man holding a bowl in one hand and then resting his other hand upon a book or a tome.
Okay.
Can we interact with these statues in any way?
Kind of giving them first glance Eidolon, again with your passive, you notice that all of the bowls seem to have a very, I guess, thick tar substance in them, most likely flammable.
Oh, probably supposed to read a riddle, then light this in a specific order. If me and Marcus are put our heads together, could we work this out without going to get Lucius?
Is there scripture anywhere?
There is scripture upon the door.
And it's in the language we can't read.
I like your thinking, Craig. What I want the two of you to do, so this relies a little bit on your intelligence.
Marcus, what's your intelligence?
11.
It is
12.
11, and yours is 12. But I like the idea, so what I'm going to do is I need you both to roll me an intelligence, just a straight intelligence.
I have an intelligence 23.
I will give you an advantage, so positive. And then I will see what your average is. So
2 nat 20s!
No way!
What did
Nice.
Paul get?
I haven't even rolled yet.
I mean, I've got a pretty good start.
You got 2
With
nat
advantage.
20s?
On advantage, I rolled 2 nat 20s.
Oh, I
Oh,
didn't.
it's just-
You didn't do it right, Paul.
Sorry.
That's not how you do it.
He got too excited
Sorry.
by the nat 20s.
Yeah, I did.
I'm actually popping off with that. Like, Paul, we have to describe what we're doing, because we're literally having, like, that's not a bad roll!
Craig, you should snip that. When is that ever going to happen again?
I'm so proud of this.
To be fair, that is
Oh.
pretty fucking good.
I'm so proud of this.
1 in 400 chance or something.
Paul, what are we doing to work out this door?
I like the idea of us actually putting our heads together. So like I'm sort of like, I like this forehead to forehead. I'm like grabbing your head, you're grabbing mine.
This is a really strange image.
Come on, we got this.
We can
just-
do this!
Telepathy.
With our 2 brain cells together, we can experience the thoughts we need.
Yes.
Wolfric is just watching this, like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck are they doing?
It's like the second I get to a word I can't understand, I just poke Marcusar and point at the word. And let him read until he does the same to me.
Yeah.
I think we actually did it. I think we did it without going back for Lucius.
Fuck Lucius. All my homies hate Lucius.
For no reason.
Yeah, no reason at all.
Well, the fact that he saw us almost die and decided to do nothing. He's like, oh, because you're supposed to be protecting me. It's like, well, fuck you.
Fuck off.
You hated him before that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did
Yeah, because
actually hate him.
he was a little bitch boy who wears diapers.
Oh, I'm gonna sleep in my carriage while you guys camp outside. Fucking Tory.
You guys are able to decipher most of it.
Hell yeah. Can Eidolon and Marcusar do like a kind of?
Romance of deciphering puzzles.
You know, I'm gonna presume it took us more than half an hour to do that, so after all that effort, Eidolon would completely be okay with doing that afterwards.
Just like our brains are too much.
As by the time you guys have actually been able to decipher all you can, to I guess a somewhat of a tangible collection of sentences, both of your torches have also burnt out, so you've been at this for about 45 minutes.
Oh dear God.
45 minutes. What's everyone else doing while we're just
Yeah, what have you two been doing?
fucking juggling rocks or some shit?
I got a pack of cards.
He's playing solitaire.
Just in the corner playing solitaire. Wants to see if Ran wants to play blackjack or
Go
maybe
fish.
a bit of poker.
I could totally bet that Ranagash would win every round.
I'd imagine after the first game of solitaire, him and Ran started playing cards, but they turn around assuming it'll be blackjack, and you just hear, "Got any fives?" Bloody fives.
Does Ranagash
Oh,
cheat at
rubber.
card games because he can see the future, so he knows what the other people have? If he gets lucky, that is.
You can't reliably.
If he gets very lucky.
Very specific.
Read them in,
That's not
read them in Wheat
reliable.
Boys. Gin rummy.
As what the two of you are able to put your heads together and decipher is the following. Though I guess some words and some phrases are perhaps a little bit omitted, making it a bit difficult or more difficult for you to understand what it really means.
Yeah, but we did this without Lucia.
You did, yes, which big brain. So, we four stand as light and darkness. We four stand, and gatekeepers, as there's a bit missing that you aren't able to understand.
And blank gatekeepers.
Yep. First came one who did not need, and then you can't decipher the end of the sentence. Then you can't really decipher the start of the next sentence. Came mightiest one of all, and then again there's a word you can't quite work out. Came another to take place. Finally, one was, and then there's a big phrase that you can't decipher. You can't work out what it means. Our faith. Light way. For we were, again, missing word, together, and, missing word, in order. As what we will do is we will take a little bit of a break. I will type this to you guys with all the missing words. It'll give you a little
Please
bit of
do.
time to think about it.
Please.
And we will join you all after a little break.
After.
gotta big brain this shit.
Because that
I
would
mean,
be
we expended all the brains we have just trying to decipher it.
You may have, but I'm built different. So
As
And you like riddle.
that is true. Although he's not
I
he's not
riddles
got
are
all
pretty
the riddle. As we come back from a break, come back from getting juice and some snacks, and Paul putting away his chicken plate. I'm assuming that's what
Marcus's
you
a
were doing.
vegetarian, but I'm not. I
As-
rate KFC bargain bucket.
As we come back to the boys' relatively big brain plays with regards to Marcusar and Eidolon being able to decipher and translate part of the inscription upon the door, part of the riddle, and we'll see if they can kind of, I guess, work out the rest of the puzzle from there.
No, the biggest brain thing to have done would have just been to go back and
get Lucius.
get the man who can read it.
But you didn't
look
do
what
that.
happens when we don't do that. 2 nat 20s, Craig.
Worth it. Worth it.
As you got quite a lot of the riddle. But what do the four of you do? As you're now kind of left with this, I guess, very scattered piece of text.
right.
I guess we'd share the text with the rest of the party first, obviously.
So which
Sorry
one
to
are we
interrupt your
thinking first?
solitaire game.
Puts the cards away, shuffles them.
Does he do the cool, like, one where he, like... I don't know,
Does
like,
he have the decks to do that?
He does not have the
He
deck
does
to
not.
do that, but he can like split the deck and do that.
Yeah, that's not that dexterous of a maneuver.
Alright, so like, I'm pretty sure I know which one comes second, because the one that comes second is pretty obvious. At least to me.
Yeah,
Might be
so
tricking me out.
your second line, or at least the decipherable parts of the second line you got, was came the mightiest, or came mightiest one of all.
Yeah, so probably the sword, more metaphorical might. Don't think that's trying to trick us out there.
Right. Oh well. So what order are we thinking they're in? I really don't want to get punched by a statue again.
Listen, if you come up with an idea, I'll do it for you this time. I'm already on my last legs today. I'll
Look,
take the punch.
I'm here to be the big scary guy with the big tough armor. But there's only so much blunt force trauma I can take before it starts to have a lasting effect.
Honey, it's time for your blunt force trauma.
Yes, DM. Units 6:30, time for Wolfric's blunt force trauma.
Okay, should we work through the whole riddle? Or, like,
Right.
pick out pieces that we know so far,
Right.
that we think we know?
Mightiest one of all. That'll be the sword, that'll be second.
The first one does state, well, sorry, I was supposed to do it in character voice. The first one does state that it does not need. There's one that lacks any form of equipment, simply holding the bowl above its head. Though, of course,
It
we don't
could
know the
be-
rest of the words for that sentence.
It could be a companion or something. The woman has a dog with them.
Or it could
So
be
the
that
red-
it doesn't need any weapon, so it could have the book.
Or knowledge, yeah. Could be the sword. Or the guy. With, it could be any of them.
It really could be.
I'm trying to... Wolfric's thinking really hard, he's investigating this.
The last one, finally, one was blank, 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 our faith. That could be the book guy.
That could be the book.
The people in the chapel did have a prayer book, yes.
Did have a prayer book. So maybe are we thinking book goes last?
Yeah, for now that's the best bet we have.
Second
Then-
comes sword.
And now we just
Second
need to work out 1 or 3.
Light the way, I think the bowl being held above his head makes sense for light the way, so I think it might be bowl third.
How does that work, light the way?
Because he's holding the bowl. The bowls are filled with a flammable liquid,
Ah, of course.
so he lights the way.
But where does lighting the way come into it here?
Light
Comes after the
blank way.
It does say at the end, for we were blank together and blank in order. It could simply be the statues from left to right are just already in order.
That would be embarrassing.
Or it could be. Now,
Wait, would that not line up with the way we're saying them?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It could be a
dog
double bluff.
sword, bowl book.
Yeah.
I'll turn to Wolfric as I start walking over to the dog statue in that case and just say, who wants to get smacked by it, me or you?
Right, I'll do it. I hold up the axe and go, dog, sword, bowl, book.
Okay. So you are able to light the dog and the sword. However, when you try and light the bowl, the third statue, it kind of sparks, it sputters, and all of the flames go out.
Dog, sword, book, bowl. I do it again.
Do it again.
As you light one after the other, they all stay ignited, they all stay lit. Various different shades of green and blue flames. You are ever so slightly hesitant to, I guess, perhaps being twatted with a statue. However, that never occurs, and the door opens for you.
Let's go, lads. We figured it out.
Did we?
You
Are you mocking my accent?
He did say he'd hit you.
No.
You're on thin ice.
Well,
So we
first, the axe right now is a torch. You do not need to bludgeon someone with it.
So to confirm, the order of statues was 1, 2, 4, 3.
Yep.
Correct.
1, 2, 4.
Okay.
Would you like me
It's
to
like
explain?
It's a Z.
Kinda.
I was trying.
Why was this the solution? Out of curiosity, what were the bits we were missing?
So, Paul, you were spot on. To the actual letter, the first phrase with the words intact is, first came the one who did not need a companion. You were literally
Hey, let's
spot
go.
on with your definition. You were all right. The second the second phrase was, next came the mightiest one of all. So, the one with the sword. The following line was, hilariously, Craig, you also had it right when you put the words in the phrasing. And then came another to take his place. That is the gentleman with the book. For knowledge is mightier than the sword. It is mightier than brute strength. Brain over brawn.
You should have had a pen.
I wasn't making it that easy for you.
I know.
Nah.
And then the final one was, I guess, harken back to the first room of 6 that you were in. The woman was looking up at the ceiling, as it was finally one was chosen to preserve our faith. So,
Okay.
give
Light
me,
the way for we were.
for we
Was it
were
light the way?
chosen. It was light the way for we were chosen and chosen in order. Obviously, suggesting that you had to light them in a specific order.
I see.
You know what? We did it. Let's push open
For
this
we
door.
were chosen together and chosen in order. Is that what?
Eidolon,
Yep.
you're fast. Can you go get our charge and tell them that we found a way deeper in?
Just don't get killed in the room whilst I'm gone.
Swear to God.
As Eidolon, you
I'll
run.
jog on.
You run to go and get Lucius, who has very much, I guess, transformed the library into a study space. You can see that he's pulled several more of the books. He seems to have a lot more scribbles and scrawlings from a lot more of his own parchment as well as his own notebook. He seems to be, I guess, a little bit shocked when you arrive, a little bit more uneasy, or set to be a little bit more uneasy. Perhaps he was hoping for someone else to come back and give him the news.
Wow, this man just doesn't like me.
No, he doesn't.
I don't like him, so it works. We found something. Thought you'd like to know. There was a sealed door further into the temple. We got it open.
Without you.
He kind of gives you a nod. He kind of packs up his own notebook and more just kind of, I guess, nervously walks aside you. Lead the way.
More just with a, I guess just a smirk he would start along with the old man.
Flex on him.
A little. Just a little.
As would you say anything to the old man upon walking back to the other room?
I'll be completely honest, I don't really have anything to say to this man. He already knows my opinion of him.
That is true, he does. And you know his opinion of you, so it works both ways.
Yep. So he can keep his mouth shut.
As Eidolon, now with Lucius, you rejoin Marcusar, Ranagash, and Wulfric, as the three of you are left to inspect this room, though not for very long. 6 more statues seem to line the walls, though only 4 of them are standing, as Cave-In has destroyed 2 of them. Taking centre stage, however, are 2 crypts, 2 tombs. There seems to be no decoration upon them, at least from what you can see. They seem to be identical in both in size and in style, but that is the only thing really in this room. Upon the back wall you can see another mural, another one of these frescoes. However, only the dedication to the female, to this woman that you've been seeing dotted around this temple, is visible. The other dedication has been destroyed by the cave-in.
What does the dedication to the woman depict?
It more just seems to be, I guess, her in prayer. She looks a little bit more angelic. She looks a little bit more at peace. I guess a way to describe it is she doesn't look living. She kind of looks more sleeping. She is still, again, left in a lot of flowers, and you can see as her green fields start to meld into the destroyed wall, they start to turn black and purple and disappear. Though you're, again, unable to at least pick apart the dedication on the other side of the wall from view. You could go digging through the rubble and perhaps see some more of it, but at first glance you can't see much of it. As Eidolon, you obviously come into the room with Lucius, where Lucius is immediately obviously enamoured with everything in this room.
Are the tombs just there, or do they seem to hold any purpose?
I'm pretty sure they hold a dead person.
No, that's a coffee table, Paul.
That is a coffee table.
Not a tomb.
I understand that joke.
Craig, give me a wee investigation just as you're more kind of looking around the actual crypts, the tombs themselves.
But I'm not very good at these. It's been going down and down every single time I've made an investigation roll today.
Bro, you just rolled 2 nat 20s. It's expected.
Nothing really seems to discern between the two of them. They both seem to be very plain, very simple, and seemingly sealed.
Apart from that, I guess I'd more just study the murals, more taking into curiosity the end of them rather than the beginning of them.
Again, you can't see a lot of it, though if you wanted to, you could give me a wee strength and start moving away some of the rocks to perhaps see some more of it.
I'll give it a shot, why not? The brain apparently hasn't been working, so we'll try brawn. Athletics, or?
No, just strength. Nope, can't move the rocks. Rock's not moving.
Rock not move.
Can I try and move the rocks?
Yeah.
Oof.
Nope.
We can't move these rocks, Paul.
We put our big arms together and we tried to. Oh, we got this if we work together.
We put our brains together. We can no longer do this. We could call, our strength fighter over to help us move the rocks.
Right, are you two needing something moved?
It's looking kind of
Really?
pathetic at this point. The two of them.
We
trying
can't
to
do
move
all
it.
the work in this dungeon, Wolfric.
I mean, you haven't.
I believe it was us that got us across that chasm.
As Wolfric, you are able to come across and move quite a lot of the boulders and quite a lot of the rocks with ease. You're kind of wondering why the boys were struggling with it in the first place.
For fuck's sake.
Druid and monk. Strength isn't our forte.
However, as Wolfric starts to, I guess, move some of the rubble, the mural, thankfully, at least in Lucius's mind, as you see him getting excited, as a lot of the mural behind the rubble is still intact. There are still parts that are broken. A lot of it is more kind of chunked. It doesn't look as clean as it probably once was. However, you are able to clear it to the point where you can see parts of a figure. You're not able to see the entire figure, as even now as Wolfric moves some of the rubble, you see chunks of the painting on the ground upon some of the other stone. However, the figure appears to be quite tall, very masculine in his appearance, probably the male that you have seen depicted in the frescoes earlier in the temple. However, unlike the woman, who is, other than some simple fineries, pretty much bare in how she's dressed, the gentleman or the male figure is not so. And what you can see from him, he is dressed in very slender, so quite form-fitting, but very heavy looking or very thick looking black plate, to the point that head to toe he is covered in armor. You can even see almost like part of his face has been broken by the cave-in, but you can see the other half where it is a very ornate black horned helm.
Oh fuck, I've worked that out. That's annoying. Oh no. How does Lucius seem to react to that?
He seems really excited. the four of you see this man, and he's been getting excited over quite a lot of things in this temple, but this is like, it's almost like a light bulb moment for him, where he sets his notebook down on one of the tombs, the nearest tomb to him, and starts scribbling hundreds, thousands of words into his notebook, and a very elated, almost nonsensical noises coming from him, as this clearly is a discovery that he was hoping for or looking for.
As long as he doesn't say anything vocal, he can continue his mad ravings.
I mean, not unless any of you ask him.
Good.
Is anyone going to ask him?
I mean, I know Eidolon's not. This is more directed at Ranagash, Wolfric, and Marcusar.
As more, I'd be looking in between the male figure, then back to the female figure. More, Eidolon at least has a smidgen of intelligence. He's slowly piecing together what this could likely mean, especially with what Wolfric pulled the female figure to be before.
So what do you make of all this, Lucius?
I'll put Furret aside. He doesn't need to see what might come next. As Lucius more kind of sets a quill down, more kind of looks at you with very wide, very happy eyes. This is exactly what we were looking for. This puts everything into place. It means we can try and excavate this place and hopefully find some more answers.
What answers do you wish to find?
Hearing Marcusar ask that question, I'm just going to stop with whatever I'm analysing and turn around and look at Lucius.
He almost seems to blank you, keeping his attention more fixed upon Marcusar. It's almost like his excitement has perhaps made him less wary of why he should be worried about you.
Then I'm walking towards him.
As he more looks at Wolfric and Marcusar, do you think you can perhaps help me get these tombs open? I need to see what's inside of them. They might have the answers we need.
It'd be wrong to disturb the dead. They should remain at peace.
If they have bodies in them, if they have anything in them, we might be able to find what causes the blight. We might be able to find its source. We might be able to stop it.
The old man would feel a blade underneath his throat.
As you would
Seeing
just
if that shakes him out of it.
almost visibly watch him swallow, where the kind of saliva, almost you can see it trickle and then get stuck on the tip of your throat as he then painfully tries to swallow beneath it. You just see the bit of blood underneath just trickle. You guys obviously watch as Eidolon now has a sword to Lucius's throat.
Marcusar, I'm in complete agreement. The dead shouldn't be desecrated.
These tombs should remain sealed, Lucius.
I'd listen to the Dragonborn.
Yes. Quite.
I'm still holding the sword to him.
Yeah, I know.
How will these tombs help? What knowledge do you wish to gain from them? Had you known this? Had you known this whole time?
Nothing. I was merely mistaken. We should perhaps continue on. There's nothing else to gain here.
And remove the sword from his throat and sheath it.
You know where the exit is.
Good. We should head there.
Right, let's get to the exit.
As Lucius almost slumps when Eidolon sheaths his sword, taking quite a big gasp or a big sigh of relief, as he kind of like more shuffles, not even turning to look at his book, more uses a backhand to kind of grab it and pull it from the back of the slab, almost dropping it onto the floor.
Has he left it or what?
No, he has picked it up, but it's more just he's very much fumbling around with it at this point.
Well, that's that. We should head back to whatever that entry room was.
Let's go then.
As well, the four of you head from the tomb and back towards the entry room, with Lucius very much keeping his distance from Eidolon, and even almost avoiding the four of you just in general as you make your way down the corridor. What do the four of you, I suppose, do when you get into the entry room? Or do you just head up the stairs?
I mean, the stairs seem to be the obvious way to go, but unless there's anything else in the room.
Is there not like the plaque on the golem thing?
Yeah, there's a stone golem and there's a inscription beneath it.
What does it say, Lucius?
If you would give me a minute, it might take a little bit of time. You have perhaps a chance to rest whilst I will see if I can get it done quickly.
I'll take a seat on a rock then, and using the new whetstone I got from Immortal, start tending to the blade, since I did use it to hack into golems before.
As Lucius takes out his notebook and begins deciphering the inscription, or deciphering the plaque. You have the ability to take a short rest if you guys want, so if you have any hit die left or anything that you need to regain, you are able to do so.
Because we leveled up, I do have some.
You can't regain spell slots on a short rest, can you?
Nope. The only
Unless
one.
you're a warlock.
Not unless you're a warlock.
The only one who can in
that's
the
true.
party is Ran, because one of his features specifically allows him to do so.
Okay.
I need to.
I don't have anything I'll do. I guess examine the sickle. He hasn't really had time to sort of ponder it.
Cool.
Like, I know you said that it sort of glowed and had a light glow and it was warm, but like, was there anything particularly ornate or anything, or was it just kind of like a sickle?
So, where is it? You've been wandering around for quite a little while, Marcusar, with this sickle in your possession.
We had that 45 minutes where we were butting heads.
Exactly. To which case, I have now sent you a little something,
Oh.
and for all the folks at home, it will appear on screen so they can see what it is as well. This was actually an item that Craig found in the new Tasha's, which I actually felt suited you pretty well, if I'm being honest, as you are now attuned to this sickle. It is a magical sickle known as the Moon Sickle.
Moon Sickle. It sounds like
Icicle, but with a list.
it sounds like something I'd get from a ice cream van.
The Moon Sickle.
Can I get the fudge moonsicle, please?
Oh, that's
That
good.
sounds so good right now.
Like a moon pie.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Sounds good. But yeah, it is a magical weapon. Yours is an uncommon one, so it's just a +1. But not only does it give you the traditional effects of a magical weapon, so a +1 to attack rolls and damage rolls, it also gives you a +1 to your spell attack bonus and to your spell saving throw DC.
Ah.
So your DC and your spell attack roll increases by 1 alongside your, if you were to use it as a weapon, your weapon attack roll and damage roll. It only does a D4 though, in terms of its actual
That's fine.
damage die. But it's like a D4 +1 plus strength, so for you it'll be a D3. Or D3? A D4
Plus
plus 3.
I mean, that is pretty good.
But just make sure you're holding the sickle whilst you actually get the +1 to your saving
Yeah,
throws
you
and
need
spell
to
attack bonus.
actually be using the sickle
Yeah.
as a weapon to get the bonuses. The nice little extra feature that it does, which I thought would be quite good for you and Craig thought would be quite good for you in your arsenal, is whilst you are holding the sickle, so in combat generally, when you cast a spell that would restore someone's hit points, it restores them an additional D4.
Nice.
So for example, if you were to cure wounds Wolfric or Ranagash, it would do a D8 plus your mod plus a D4.
Hell yeah. Gee,
And is that only when I'm holding it, or just at all times?
So it's
That's
when you're holding it. So like in combat,
that's-
you know how you usually use your hand axe and then cast? It would be
Yeah.
replacing that.
Yo, that is pretty dope.
So it does less damage than your hand axe, but it has a lot more utility than your hand axe.
Yes.
Yeah. And it fits my role perfectly.
And
I wish to
technically,
heal and do damage. I wish to be a harm assist.
give me 2 seconds because I think it might also, you might actually be slightly better with it than I originally thought, because if I go on to, why can't I just flip to the druid page?
Please give me a broken weapon.
It's not going
No, I
to be
think
that
you're
good.
Still just a
right.
D4.
Okay, you've said it here.
You can now add your proficiency bonuses to your attacks, Marcusar.
Sickles are a druid proficiency
So
weapon.
sickle is a druid proficiency weapon, which means to attack it would be a, so your strength is a +2, yeah?
Yes.
So it would be +2, +3, +1, so it would be a +6 to attack.
Let's go.
Dealing a 1d4 +3 damage, which is not unsizable.
Okay, so the sickle is now, it's not a +2, it's a +6.
Yes.
Hell
It went
yes.
up by 4. It went up by fucking 4. Is your strength +2, yeah, Marcusar?
Yes.
Cool, so it's
Wait, no,
+3
it's
to
plus-
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, +3 to damage.
And then
And
+6
so it's
to
a-
hit.
+6 to hit. Ah, it's
It's a
so good.
it's a +1 magic item, so
Yeah, of course.
It's the same as my obsidian longsword.
That is a very cool item. Thank you very much.
As I said, it was Craig who found it. He was scrolling through loads of magical items and he was the one who found it and went, this could be cool for Marcusar. I think his exact phrasing was, your scroll was a little bit shitter than what everyone else got, so he thought that you could have a weapon.
I didn't think the scroll was too shit. You know, I thought it was. I don't know.
I liked your scroll, Paul.
I didn't say I disliked the scroll. Thanks for taking me out of context.
Just like Burger King, women belong in the kitchen.
What the fuck?
Marcusar's like Burger King. That's all.
Things getting taken out of context.
As
back to Dungeons and Dragons.
Do the four of you do anything else during this kind of small rest, this small break?
Wolfric kind of just uses it as a moment to stretch.
He's stretching, limbering up.
Yeah, limbering up. He's getting to the point where every time he hasn't stretched for a prolonged period of time, you hear.
Oh no, he's old.
Bone to pop in.
No, I'm keeping my eye on the old man whilst I'm sharpening my sword. Almost if he looks over, he would see me sharpening my sword in his direction. Which can be taken as a threat.
This is a threat. What about Ran? What's he doing during this little short break? If anything.
Play. Yeah, not much play, just thinking, sitting thinking hard about everything. And, probably absently fidgeting with like a runestone or something. I don't have many plans.
As coming to the end of your short rest, coming to the end of this little break, Lucius is able to decipher the inscription, though I guess still very shaken, still very nervous, still very cautious about even telling you the translation. He kind of more looks at the four of you. It's only half an inscription. I'm missing the other half.
Guessing the other half was on the other golem. Gestures towards the big pile of boulders.
Most likely, yes. It's been lost in the cave-in. It reads, only those who are welcome. I'm missing the other half.
Only those who are welcome.
Well, I guess we were welcome then.
The way that we were...
The attack that we suffered.
I was about to say. I'm more just wading into, I guess, the small bit of water that's currently next to the rocks. I'd essentially just see if I could peer through and see any sign of an old inscription.
Give me an investigation, as you would have. You would have to make more of an investigative check than a nope.
It does just keep getting lower.
It does, yeah. As it would have to be more of an investigation than a perception, as you would have to try and search through some of the rubble to find the original inscription.
Could I help him rummage through the rubble?
Give me an investigation, Marcusar.
Oh.
Nope.
Paul, we used up all of our intelligence for the puzzle, and that was it.
Yeah. Our brains are now mush, we've just written a 2,000-word essay the night before it was done, and now we're just sort of spent.
It's 5 a.m. in the library. It's time to go home.
It's 5 a.m. in the library. Ewan's been shitposting for the past 20 minutes.
There's two wolves inside of you. One is high scale, one
one
is low scale.
Pendulum
Shogun.
That was a
There are two
night
wolves
and a half.
inside you. They're in love.
But no, you can't find any of the other parts of the inscription.
Wolfric, would you mind shifting some rocks again?
Right.
I'm just happy no one judged me for threatening our compatriot.
Lift with your knees, not with your back.
I mean, no one's questioned you or about your threatening yet.
Yeah.
24. I'm strong as fuck.
We have the muscle of the party.
Thanks, Dad.
As it turns out, your
Thanks,
stretches
Dad.
probably did you some good, as moving a lot of these rocks is a bit heftier than moving the rocks in the tomb. But you are able to move them enough for you to find parts of the inscription. The whole thing isn't quite there, as it is quite damaged. The few words that you are able to, I guess, reveal, Lucy is able to translate quite quickly, as they are single words rather than phrases. The rough of what I can translate, it says may pass.
Maybe only the chosen by us will pass, considering there's a lot of statue memorabilia.
Mm-hmm. Lucius,
So
you
we-
cross the bridge first. You go up the stairs first.
I'll go upstairs first. And I go up the stairs.
Give me a dexterity saving throw, Ewan.
Oh.
I have
He
a
saw this
theory.
coming eventually.
I have a theory about what this is about to do. 8.
Oh, that's
Well, we're
not-
gonna see what happened no matter what.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
What do you mean that's not good?
That's a 23.
Damage?
21
No,
then?
that's a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that will hit.
That'll do it.
Actually, that hits all of us.
Yeah, it does. I also found out something quite funny when I've just done this. So one of the
Okay.
damages I calculated last session should have been a lot less for you, Craig, than it was.
Why is
Because
that?
the damage I calculated for you, my monster manual had flipped a page. So I calculated your damage based on the damage stats of another monster.
Oh shit.
We were fighting golems, let me guess what, you used like an iron golem damage to hit me like?
As Wolfric, you take 13 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, at least we short rested.
At least.
As you take a few steps, start to go up towards the stairs, and the stone statue that is still standing upon its plinth almost whips out a hand, whips out a stone blade, seemingly from nowhere,
Oh, great.
and blocks your way, but pierces you as it does so. As I need the 4 of you to roll me initiative,
Oh, it's combat time.
as
Let's
Wolfric
go.
is going to have PTSD from stone fucking statues by the end of this dungeon.
Why am I rolling so shit? I used all of my energy on two enemies.
Wolfric in 20 years. I've told you, honey. I've got nothing against your hobbies. I just can't go to the garden centre. I can't bring myself.
Can't do it, dear. I just can't. It's like I told you, honey. They're not going to attack you. The statues aren't coming after you.
You don't know that.
You don't know that. You don't know what they do. You don't know what they are.
You were
What
there,
would
man.
What would you
They
do?
were
What
coming
would
out
you
of the
do
trees.
if your girlfriend started taking up like statue work, like sculpting?
Well, I have to accept it because I love her and I will support her unconditionally.
You like Wolford wakes up in the middle of the night to get himself a drink and he sees like a half-finished product and just out of reflexes just cleaves it in half. Did it itself. It was a pre-existing condition.
As the statue goes first.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh.
As the statue doesn't really like Ewan.
No. Constructs have a thing against me.
They do. They do very much have a thing against you.
Ewan, you need to get guard for your axe that does thunder damage.
You've been thunderstruck.
That's what I called my weapon in Strahd.
I missed the discus.
The one that I forged.
Yes,
Yes.
you did, in the instance.
Our weapon.
So I'm assuming in
I made
non-nat
this weapon,
20,
Paul.
Ewan, any 26 will hit you.
A nat 20 and a 26.
Non-nat 20 and a 26.
Both hit me, yes.
Ewan, we have extra attack if you do this.
So
We
24.
had a
Points of damage? Total?
You're unconscious, aren't you?
Just from the first one?
Just from the first one.
Is that just from the first one? Okay, I'm on 2 hit points. How much from the second one?
10.
Well, that's not as intimidating. I'm unconscious.
Actually, no, I lied to you. Sorry, it's 9.
I'm still unconscious.
2 minus 9 is still less than 0.
As this thing steps down from its plinth, almost forms a stone shield upon its other hand, and with a lot of, I guess, weight behind its swing, knocks Wolfric to the ground, kind of sending him up a few of the stairs, and the old man doesn't get back up.
oh god.
This is gonna go great.
As Matthew, it's Rand's
Right.
go.
Okay. This is serious business. Can't afford to miss here, so I'm gonna do my staple. Funny magic missile time.
Yes, magic missile go burr.
Yeah. Magic missile has become my new vicious mockery.
Essentially, yeah.
Hey.
Oh shit, my headphones yanked out.
Thoughts popping off too hard.
Sorry about that.
Damage rolls so Pog.
we
Paul
go.
unplugs his headset.
That's one. That's one short of max damage. Hell yeah.
To be
Is
fair,
that a
pretty
third
sexy.
level magic missile or is that a second level magic missile?
Second.
Second. He did 3rd level magic missile. That thing might be dead already. No, of course not, but still.
hopeful, Craig. Very hopeful.
I am hopeful.
My brain for some reason, just because magic missile uses d8s, my brain imagines magic missile as being a bunch of like pyramid shapes.
Matthew, doesn't your ring let you cast as a bonus action too? Or
I don't have enough charges left. It needs 2 to do that. I only have 1 left.
You need
Oh,
a,
shit.
and you've not
I
had a
spent
long
the 4
rest.
just doing firebolts.
As Lucius will actually do something, but not for any of you. And then Eidolon.
son of a bitch. I think I should have killed him in that room instead. To more try take the heat off of Wolfric, I am going to just run up to it. Just draw the sword and try to hit it, though considering how my rolls have been going ever since the 2 nat 20s, I'm not very hopeful. 24?
That'll hit.
So more just running forward. I'm assuming this too is quite an old statue.
Yes.
Nice.
So essentially, like measuring up the statue as I run towards it, more just noticing a small chip in its shoulder, more just take a small run up just to try and essentially just jump a little bit to reach the shoulder, just to try cleave into it a bit. Playing a martial class, I have to do the most I can to describe. So that
Yeah,
is
we ain't got spells.
so on 2d10, that's only 9 damage, which is utterly
You're
pitiful.
twinsies with the big stone man.
Yeah, I am. Though I also have a second attack, much like the big stone man. I'm assuming a 10 will miss him.
Yeah.
So more just running up, like taking cleave into the shoulder, essentially drop down. Notice a smaller chip near its leg, but clearly not as big as a chip as I would liked it to be. As I'll bonus action expend a key point for patient defense, as I don't want to get hit by this thing.
That seems like a good idea.
I just hope I have annoyed it enough to maybe take the heat off of Wolfric a little bit.
As Paul.
How big is this room that we're in? Like, how high is the ceiling?
Like tall.
Yeah.
Probably like maybe 20-25 foot. Like it's quite a big arched ceiling, so
But it's not necessarily big enough that a cloud could appear over the golem.
Nah, I don't think this is called lightningable.
Call lightningable. That's a great word. Lightningable. The spell fails if you can't see a point in the air where the storm cloud could appear. For example, if you're in a room that can't accommodate the cloud.
no. The kind of small catch with call lightning is when you're in, I guess, enclosed spaces. You
Yeah.
can't really call lightning.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It does say a cylinder 10 feet with a 60-foot radius. So I was seeing if it had a 60-foot high ceiling. Anyways, I guess I should up my teammate.
Yeah, Wolfric's kind of dying.
So I shall do a level 3 healing word.
Oh. Thank you
And
very
it
much.
gets a new additional d4 effect.
And it
to
gets
your
an additional
magic weapon.
D4.
44 plus 3.
Oh, that's the polar opposite of Matthews. That's the polar opposite of Matthews.
I'm on 10!
Come on, 10!
He's on. And I would like to. So healing word's a bonus action, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I would like to use my action to use my brand new sickle.
You're gonna sickle him.
Sick 'em, boys. Yeah.
Some boy.
Is it 17 hit? Hell yeah. So
It's a shame it's not
With my-
two-bladed.
with my left hand, I'm casting healing words towards Wolfric, and then with my right hand, I sort of try and catch the golem under the chin or something like that with my sickle.
It's a shame it's not two-bladed.
Correct.
Then it'd be a bicycle.
You were waiting so long. You started that joke twice just to
Yes,
get
I
the
was
point
waiting
across.
for people to pay attention.
I was paying attention, I just didn't want to know where that was going. Because I
What's
knew
with the
it was some
ones?
really-
It's not
Ouch,
bad.
Paul.
4 1s and 5 d4s.
Yeah, I rolled 2d10, and yet you only rolled 5 less damage than me.
Is it me? Is it me?
It is you.
Notices my turn.
Ooh.
Let fucking
Moon, no
hell.
sleep.
Does 11 hit?
No.
Does 25 hit?
Yes.
Fucking hope so.
You're not at that level yet, boys. 25 will still hit things.
For now.
That is, sorry, wrong way around. That is 7 damage. Can I, plus 1d6, plus 1d8, and can I get a strength saving throw? And I'm gonna re-roll that too. Get a 4.
Ewan's just like, and also, in addition,
More.
Strength saving throw, please.
Ewan's the end of any academic essay that's run out of its points to make, so it's just like, and in addition, also, I forgot to mention,
Also
more
strange.
dice just rolls in.
As it only got a 10.
Fails. Cool. It's prone now because I trip attacked it. Action surge. R slash 2d20 KH1.
Don't you still have an... Oh wait, no, you missed the first attack, sorry.
That's a 24 to hit.
That'll hit.
You've really pissed off him. Pissed him off.
And an additional. I'm gonna re-roll that too. That's a 4, so
Four
that's
again?
20 that attack. And then
Another one.
Another one.
And another one.
Boom, boom, boom.
19.
That'll also hit.
Oh, you love to see it.
You guys are
I'm
like
surprised-
a well-oiled machine.
I'm surprised the golem passed a strength.
Reroll
save.
1, 6, so that's instead 13. And the 5, 11, 18 for that total for that second attack.
Ewan is the best fighter I've ever seen.
I am a strategic fucking machine.
Bet you love RTS.
I don't play RTS games.
What?
I've never played a single RTS game. Bonus action, I regain 15 hit points.
Man's a god.
Ewan
Can't
just
be
Fuck
stopped.
withable.
all of the ones Paul rolled for his healing just went into Ewan's turn there.
Why is my page there? Oh yeah, I know why my page is there. The page stays there.
The ones weren't for healing, that was just Paul saying Ewan was about to be the number one that many times.
We are number one.
Hey!
Dun, dun, dun,
There we
dun.
fucking go, boys. This is why. Now you see, to the people at home, this is why when someone says human fighters are boring, you tell them to go fuck themselves. Do you see that shit?
He makes a
How
good
many-
point. He makes
How
compelling
much
argument.
damage did you just do in that one turn of combat?
I can do the math for you.
I can't.
We like math.
I can't unmath. 40 damage.
You mean some? Yeah.
40 damage and 15 healing.
As Eidolon,
Hello.
Wolfric, Marcusar, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
God.
no.
The straight D20.
You're probably still gonna beat me in that, honestly.
10.
Oh, never mind.
Ooh.
Paul, you are all right. You're very wisdomous. Craig and Ewan, the one that this is going to affect a lot more. The two of you are slowed.
Oh,
So-
fuck this thing.
You can no longer take reactions. Your speed has been halved. But I guess the one thing that damages you a little bit more, you can only take one attack on your turn.
I'm going to unalive. I'm
commit toaster
going to delete System 32 from my existence.
You also, for Craig, I suppose the crippling effect is you can't take an action and a bonus action. You can only take one.
Only one. Oh, there goes my strategy each turn.
What is monk if not 4 attacks?
What is monk, if not bonus action?
As the statue seems to creak its head, look at the three of you, and more get up, but as it does so, almost pummels its fist into the ground and expels a rather off-smelling dust, some foul-smelling odour that, Marcusar, you kind of shrug off, but for Wolfric and Eidolon, this seems to almost, I guess, increase your years well beyond where they should be.
That's rude.
Is this fucking overgrown morph-looking motherfucker trying to say I'm old?
I mean, everyone else is.
No, but I'm fighting him. I'm fighting him. It's a personal attack.
As Matthew, it is your go.
How bad is this thing looking?
Not very, is the long and short of it.
It's
Okay.
still good.
Oh no. Oh no. Right, okay. Clearly second level was not high enough. Let's turn things up to 11, shall we?
Or 3.
Crash.
It's a metaphor.
Turn that shit up.
to 3.
Turn that shit up.
That was less damage. That's
That's
the
the
was
max.
less
Oh, that's the
damage.
max.
It's less damage.
I feel like I just wasted half of my fireball potential for that.
Oh,
There's no way you're fireballing in here because all of us will die.
Yeah, no, yeah.
All of us will die.
Yeah, no, not here, obviously. Just potential. I think, yeah, I have no bonus action.
Wizards be like, where's my bonus action?
Wizards be like, imagine using your bonus action. This post made by the inefficient action economy gang.
Imagine having a D6 hit die. This post was made by literally every other classic sorcerer gang. Sure, you get some cool spells, but you know what I get? Proficiency in Constitution saving throws.
Imagine having single-digit health at first level.
Well, depends how fortuitous your wizard is. You could have a high
Fortuitous.
fortuitous.
20 con wizard gang, where are you?
Fortuitous means full of fortitude.
What is it, Em?
I mean, I'm giving you more reasons to hate him, but...
Oh no.
What's he doing?
Benefits
probably gonna drop
Radagash.
Fireball on us.
As Rand, you'll kind of watch as Lucius casts. The rest of you obviously are engaged in combat with this golem, with this statue, so you can't really see what he's doing. You can, however, see the aftermath of it, as surrounding you, so Eidolon, Marksar, Wolfric, and the golem, is now a relatively large, shimmering dome. As
We're
This
sticking with it.
Fucker! This
surrounding
motherfucker!
as surrounding the four of you is now a wall of force.
We can't get out.
We can't get out.
We physically
Rand,
can't get out.
positives. The thing can't get you anymore. At least
Rand can't even attack it anymore, though. Magic can't get through a wall of force.
It's 3 of us against the golem in the dome.
Also, Paul's now stuck in with the golem, and he's a healer.
I have my ways.
I'm taking one of this guy's hands.
Can I take his other one?
You have forfeited your life privileges.
Can I cut this man's throat, actually? Is that allowed?
Your hands hand them over.
Hands hand them over.
No, I'm cutting this man's throat after this. Man's dead.
Yeah, you have the ability to obviously move around and maneuver yourselves, but you're now stuck within this wall of force.
How big is this wall of force?
Too big.
I don't think it's very large.
It's a 10-foot radius, so a 20-foot diameter circle. Hence, he can encompass the 3 of you and the golem.
We cannot go
Okay.
over it, though.
We cannot go over it.
You can't even go through
Actually, I technically could if I step of the wind and jumped over it,
it. That is true.
but
As Eidolon, it is now actually your go.
more hearing the whomp of the wall of force, just turning around for a second, noticing that we likely can't leave, and more just turning towards the golem, and more just give a nod over to Wolfric, just like, yeah, we kind of have to do this now.
Yeah,
Please do what you just did again.
This is necessary.
As I'd more go for an attack on the golem, because there's not much else I can do, lacking bonus actions and such. I'm assuming a 9 will miss.
Yep.
Is it worth increasing it? No, because that would only reach me to a 15. Nope, that's all I can do though. This funny slow effect.
I'm gonna have serious words with Lucius after this.
Wolfric saluting the rest of them as he's about to get fucking murked by this golem again. Been an
It's been
honor.
an honor serving.
Does the save repeat at the end of turns or nah?
It does, yes, so you can repeat your save.
Well, I got one bad roll. Certainly I can't get another one. Oh,
Cool, you
I'm
pass.
on that 20.
You are no longer under the effect of this slow. Paul,
Lol.
it is Marcus
Yes.
Arco.
Is there a space, maybe 5 feet behind the golem, that I could position something that it wouldn't hit us?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Moonbeam.
What level?
Oh shit! I have it at a higher level. Holy shit!
Yeah, you've
Just
got
do
to
third level,
do
kill
a
it.
third level moonbeam.
Third level moonbeam, butch.
Hell
I
yeah!
think you have more than one third slot. Oh, actually, you've not used a third slot yet.
Oh, you used the third level healing word.
Actually, yeah. So
Yes. So I have one last third level slot left.
one last third level.
Could they please make a Constitution saving throw?
Something tells me golems are good at these.
You would think so, wouldn't you? Very interesting
please.
fact, however. Golems don't have any proficiencies in saving throws.
Oh.
Which makes that a 15.
What's your DC, Paul?
Even with the sickle, that gave me +1 to my spell save DC. It's a 14.
So
Yeah, because he's only got a +3.
+3, so 4. No, it would be 15, but
Wait, is it 15?
yeah. So
Should it be?
yeah, because your
'Cause
bonus goes up by
8
1 this
plus
turn.
proficiency.
Oh yeah, I forgot my proficiency went up. Yeah, so 15.
It still passes.
It still
sadly.
passes, but it's you're 15.
You can't
not
keep
14.
getting away with it.
It takes half, Paul.
It does take
Takes
half,
half.
correct. I forgot it
Moonbeam
takes
is
half.
4d10?
Something like that. Something dope.
No, it doesn't. Hold on.
It's 3d10.
We got a #1 victory royale. Yeah, Fortnite, we're about to
We're
get
about to
there.
get down. 10 kills on the board right now.
now,
Just
just
take out
Stop
the
it. I
main
can't
town.
escape
I will leave
the
again.
song. 3d10.
Show us your,
3d10.
show us, go on Usagi, show us your moon prism power.
Ooh, that's big.
Oh,
Let's go.
fucking, that is gorgeous.
Mwah,
So
chef kiss.
Space.
You'd love to see it.
That is
14
base.
damage when it passed the save. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. And also, that stays
Nice.
up as long as you stay concentrated on it.
Yes.
So it has that happen at the beginning of its turns?
On each of your turns, you cast the spell. You can use an action to move the beam up to 60 feet in any direction. That's what
Yeah,
it
it
says.
starts its turn
When a
there.
creature enters the
Everything
spell's
goes-
area,
everything
so
goes
when you
first.
casted it, or it starts its turn there. So it
Oh,
needs to
wait.
make the con save at the start of its turn.
Oh, okay, that's good.
As
Nice.
Wolfric,
Here we go.
It's me.
and
I'm
your
gonna
very
make-
limited turn.
You get one. You get one.
A 13 misses.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, I'm gonna try and make a save again. No.
Oh no, oh no, oh Wolfric, oh babe.
Wolfric is still slowed as con save for Marcusar, and okay, positives. It fails the con save.
But
It may have recharged its slow.
Fuck it.
fun is not
however-
allowed.
Do you re-roll damage, or does it take that damage again?
Paul, can you roll me 3d10 again?
Ooh,
As it
let's
takes
go.
it
Did it
takes a new
fail?
set of damage. It does, yes.
Full damage, full damage.
Hell
Come on,
yeah.
big damage.
Come on.
I'm chanting for big damage.
It's not as good, but still, it's another 16. That's more, like, only slightly more,
Two more.
than the
Two
half
more.
damage.
Yeah.
2 more isn't bad. More is good.
It's still taking 30 damage overall from that attack. From that
Exactly.
moonbeam.
I
Aha.
think it's trying to attack us, Ewan. Or specifically you.
Who wants to pick their fate?
I'll take the higher one.
I'll.
I'm not even picking dice thing. I'll take the higher one.
What the fuck? What color dice do we get to choose?
No, Ewan's already made his
I've
choice.
picked the
Ewan,
higher one.
There's only 2 dice and Ewan's called it.
Okay, very
What were the rolls?
A 13 or a nat 20.
Oh, we'll miss. So who is it aiming for with the 13?
You.
Oh, okay, misses.
Natural 20, how much damage did I take?
Ewan.
Not actually that much.
Oh.
8, 10, 13, 26.
I'm unconscious.
Still, it's not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah,
Like in the grand scheme of things, it's not as bad as it could have been.
yeah.
So I don't want
At least it was only 2 attacks. It was 2 attacks against separate people. If both of those attacks had hit and been against me, that would have been a failed death save.
So just out of curiosity, I don't want to know what damage dice it's rolling, but how many dice is it rolling for its attacks? Oh, 3. Oh no.
Oh god.
Oh god, I'm unconscious.
Again. I only have so many spell slots left.
I have a plan, but it requires hitting it, which I haven't been doing a good job at so far.
As Ranagash.
I'm gonna sort of angrily turn to Lucius, gesture at the wall of force and be like, how am I supposed to help with this?
They seem to have it handled.
Can I just shout over the wall of force? What?
Wolfric unconscious?
You don't look like a cleric to me.
That's not my point.
This guy's a bastard.
I want him dead. I want to kill him.
I imagine us hearing all this is kind of like muffled through the force.
Yeah.
Just like,
Yeah.
I'm keeping in my what though. That is canon to me. I have shouted what.
What?
I swear to God, if Wulfric doesn't get to go home to the people he loves because some selfish fucking bastard old man wizard put up his glowy condom wall against the scary rock man.
Being a caster yourself, Matthew,
Mm-hmm.
you will be able to know that there is one way to end a spell if Lucius isn't willing to end it willingly.
Mm-hmm.
Slap him.
You can slap a
Hot
bitch.
hand.
Yeah.
Fuck concentration. All my homies hate concentration.
Yeah, no.
Slap a bitch. Be Ranagash the bastard and slap a bitch.
Now I can be a bigger bastard. I'm gonna take the runestone I've been holding to magic missile, hold it up to him and be like, drop it.
Threat.
I
Right.
think this is the first time I've ever said this. Matthew, roll intimidation.
Yes, and you have proficiency because you're a half orc.
Ooh, I like that number.
I'm
Oh,
literally
big
on. Like, I'm tense over this. Whoa!
18. Let's go.
I need more of this from Ran already. I've seen it once and I need more.
Inject this shit straight into my veins.
As you watch as Lucius snaps his fingers, it's your funeral, and dispels his wall of force.
Can I give him a grimace and turn the runestone back towards the golem and a magic missile that instead, for now. Back down to...
Oh, I can't wait to have words with this man.
Ooh, the word is spicy.
No,
The words will be in the form of violence.
yeah, let's just go second level again. That went well last time.
Ooh, that's
There we
not
go.
bad.
And no bonus action.
At least I'm not slowed anymore.
Why would you not be slowed?
Because I'm unconscious.
That's true, yeah.
Magical effects end regardless whether they're positive or negative when you're unconscious.
I was thinking of conditions, my bad.
To be fair, my brain went to
Maybe.
conditions as well. Craig and I went, is he? And then I was like, yeah, he's unconscious.
Yeah. It's magical effects. It's like if you're poisoned and then you get back up, you're still poisoned. Like if you're stunned and you come back up, you're still stunned.
As you hear a very familiar sound of the wall of force, but it just appears around Lucius.
What a little bitch boy.
Yeah.
I've had it up to here with this fucker.
As Craig.
Eidolon more just casting his eye back to Ranagash, giving him a very appreciative nod. Before turning sword back to the golem, since sorry you and I can't heal you.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna try something. I have a plan. It just requires hitting, which that's the problem.
I mean, you have your extra attack back.
12 actually. No, I'm not gonna burn the key points for that. I'll try one more attack. I'm just rolling so pish.
That'll hit.
24. Cool. Can it make me a con save? I have an aesthetic for if this works. Oh, I don't think it will.
21.
21, yeah, that passes.
Still
For
takes
now.
the damage now.
Still takes. Why do I roll so badly on damage?
Why
What is
do
wrong
birds
with me?
suddenly appear?
So that's only 10 damage. Why do I just suck at rolling the damages? What should I do with my bonus action?
You can make one monk weapon attack as a bonus action.
Unarmed attack, sadly, not monk attacks.
Key not a
I'm gonna. Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna try punch it. This thing is annoying me. I'm going to try punch it.
No.
Nice.
No, you don't.
Good job, bro.
I can't roll well today.
Punch and stun.
Probably take damage.
Can you give me a constitution saving throw?
Oh god.
Continue to roll well. Totally. Definitely.
You burned all your luck with those two nat 20s.
It's only 2 damage, but you also kind of have a broken wrist.
Oh shit! Not fun.
I can deal with this.
I only have so much healing.
Roll.
So if you now try and use your punches, Craig, you're rolling with disadvantage. Since aesthetically, you now have broken your wrist.
Cool, I'll have to one-arm the sword then. Luckily, Cure Wounds fixes broken things, so I'll just pray for Marcusar to help.
Just take
After
a
combat,
nap.
of course.
Just take a nap like you're a Fallout character.
As Marcusar, it is now your go. As you hear Eidolon break his wrist and Wolfric fall to the floor.
Okay, well, I'm going to use my bonus action to healing word Wolfric. So that is 3d4.
Are you doing it at second level?
Yes. That's 3.
12.
Nice consistent healing there, 333.
Those threes are nice.
And I guess I'll take another swing at the fucking golem with my sickle.
Please, just roll better than me, Paul. I beg of you.
That is
Not
better
that 20.
Thank you. Thank you.
than-
Can someone please screen snap those 3s, because that's oddly satisfying.
It's oddly
And
satisfying.
it's plus 3 too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 3d4 plus 3, and it's 3, 3, 3, 3.
And 2 more 3s. Let's go.
What the fuck is with you in threes?
This is some very
Good
oddly
things come in
satisfying
3s.
rolls.
Rule of 3s.
They've not come in threes, they've come in...
I'm glad you didn't finish that sentence, Craig. As Ewan, Wolfric is back up again.
Melee attacks
Again.
time.
However, you're not slowed, so
Can you
positives.
try to stay up? Stay up.
Let me guess, it's gonna slow next turn then.
15.
Nope.
Extra attack.
22.
Yes.
Yay!
I need to, sorry, I very quickly forgot. I haven't used this in a while, so I forget the saving throw. Give me a sec. Apologies. Strength saving throw. So it takes.
Nat 20.
Fuck.
Still takes the damage.
I did the wrong way
Did
around
the funny
again.
thing wrong.
That's my favorite subreddit. r/1d12 plus 7.
That's almost max damage.
Reroll once.
1, roll 5. Aww. And then a d8.
28. That's 28 points of damage total.
Cool. How do you want to kill it, Ewan?
Yes! Let's
It's
fucking
dead.
go!
Fuck him up.
I'd like to imagine the first attack swings wide, so what he does is he kind of adopts like a wider stance, like there's like a burning trail of the blade as he brings it through, hits a crack that Eidolon had previously hit. The blade burns hotter and melts through the stone and cuts it in half.
Nice.
Spicy.
And it just slides and crumbles.
I would just look up to Wolfric and just say thanks. Like, thank you.
You're welcome.
Whatever that thing did with the dust really got to me.
I probably have internal bleeding, so we should probably get back to civilization as quick as possible. However, we have a matter to fix, and he has Lucius dropped the wall of force because the golem's down.
Let's just all stand ominous. Let's all stand ominously outside the wall of force, like.
Wolfric.
Yeah,
T-pose.
they come out eventually.
Wolfric switches his great axe to his offhand just because he's not using it. He's just carrying it. He marches down the stairs to Lucius and he clocks him across the face.
Ooh.
Give me an attack roll.
Am I proficient with my fists?
No.
You're a fighter.
Yeah, but you're not
Everyone
unarmed.
is.
Well, actually,
Everybody is proficient with
yeah,
unarmed
everyone
attacks.
is proficient in unarmed attacks.
Everybody has proficiency in
22.
unarmed attacks.
I think that'll hit him. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to double check, but I'm pretty sure it does because I'm pretty sure this just raises his AC to 18.
1 plus strength. 1 plus strength.
Where is it?
Because when I was looking up shove rulings, every class has proficiency in unarmed strikes, so everyone
Okay.
can punch.
Everyone can punch.
Yeah.
It's like everybody
so
poops, but everyone can punch.
You still hit.
Okay,
Damage.
can he give me a strength saving throw?
Maneuver!
I mean, he can
I'm
try.
I'm dropping a maneuver into this.
Oh, that's a
You get a
D10.
D8. You get a D8 damage, Ewan.
What, are you gonna kill this guy?
He rolled
What did he get?
He rolled an 18.
You rolled an 18.
This all
You
fucking
still
man
add the
rolled an
damage.
18.
He still
He's like
he
an
still
o-
takes
Oh, I mean, it
he
makes
still
sense.
takes a total of 12 damage.
I mean, it makes sense. He's got stone skin up, so it makes sense. He's a little bit strong.
I imagine he was just like his frail old arm. He just blocks it effortlessly.
No, what I was trying to do was I have a maneuver called disarming attack,
Okay.
and I was gonna make him drop his book.
Nice. Well, like a high school bully, like, oops, you dropped something. Better go pick it up.
Shake off the hand.
As he more kind of, I guess, cracks his jaw back into place, swallows uncomfortably.
I understand that we are here to be your bodyguards, correct? I did not expect you to participate in the fight. Far from it. For a man of your age, I did not expect it. But a person so willing to block in the people that protect them to save his own skin it's unforgivable. You're lucky that it's the Dynast's will alone that's keeping your head on its shoulders. And I turn around and I
If we're
walk up
not for the
stairs.
laws of this land.
Anyone else?
I'm staying downstairs with him. If anyone else wants to say something, they're welcome to.
Don't think Marcusar has much to say. Is your hand okay, Eidolon?
It'll be fine, though if next time we rest you could have a look at it, that would be appreciated.
And do a little healing word on it.
Oh, thank you.
Just the first level.
Yeah, no, but like a D4, well 2D4 actually, because you've got a sickle. Will be much appreciated.
There you go.
I'm on full hit points, thank you, Paul.
Is his hand healed?
That's why I'm just double checking. I want to see if there's actually specific wording in the difference
There
between
are-
spells.
There are no rules for breaking bones, so it's
I know.
completely up to you.
It's more the state of being. So no.
Yeah.
So yes, your wrist would be repaired, Eidolon.
Just crack it back into place, I'd give Marcusar a very appreciative nod before
We
doing
do-
exactly what Paul just
we
did towards
Yeah,
the
just-
man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll let Marcusar and Ranagash leave if they want.
Let's just get out of this godforsaken place. Sorry, she forsaken place.
As does Ran leave, or is he kind of hanging back too?
Does Ranagash stay, or does Ranagash go?
What are we doing?
Talking to Lucius. It's just whether so. Wolfric's kind of said his piece. Marcusar's healed Eidolon and has followed Wolfric up the stairs. Eidolon's kind of hanging back, giving the old man daggers, and it's whether Ran, I guess, hangs back or heads up the stairs.
I mean, he'd probably like head up, but maybe try and bring Eidolon with him. Because he doesn't. Eidolon. The last time Eidolon went unsupervised, it did not go well. Let's leave it at that.
Eidolon would stay unless, I don't know, you talk to him.
The Dynast would not approve of him losing his tongue.
He wouldn't lose his tongue, and I care not for what the Dynast would approve of.
It's not going to be worth it in the long run.
I don't exactly have a long run, Ranagash.
Is this what she would want? And then, without giving him a chance to spawn, just turn and leave. Head up the stairs.
Ouch, man, jeez.
Ooh, cuts deep.
As I'd more just look at Lucius in that case, start going for the sword, think about what Ranagash actually said, put the hand down instead. Instead, lift up the left arm, and more for the aesthetic sake, I'll expend the key point for activating the arms of the astral self. It's for the aesthetic more than anything else. And just sort of let the tendrils start creeping up, let them almost envelop the top of the hand and almost create a spiral coming out the top, more just for the flare, or letting them almost creep around the room coming from the top. As I just stare dead at the men. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
There is a writ in my carriage. Take it to the Lord of Summerhost. I am staying here.
That wasn't my question. You are a loose-lipped coward. What do you have to say for yourself?
I am doing what the dynast asked.
Then we'll see how sitting pretty your dynast is after a few letters are sent out of Summerhost. Your position and your research won't last after this. He snaps his fingers, lets the tendrils disappear, and turns to head up the staircase.
As Lucius does not follow you, he actually goes further back into the temple. As you kind of join Ranagash halfway up the staircase, and then eventually Marcusar and Wulfric.
Walking with Ranagash in that case, I'd just say, he's alive.
Good.
My more temptation was to chop off his hand so he couldn't cast again. But no, I think his death would have come swiftly afterwards.
What did we find at the top of the stairs?
A cave-in.
Ah, God, do we really have to go all the way back through?
No, this is like making a dramatic exit, then realizing you're going up a spiral staircase and you have to see the person again.
Positives. More from Wulfric's perspective than anyone else's, though Eidolon, you can kind of use this with your own passive perception. Wulfric is more just prior knowledge, being a more travelled veteran in terms of getting out of situations like this. The rocks are movable.
Move the rocks.
Give me a strength. Is anyone helping you?
I'll help.
Yeah, we're all helping.
With advantage, Ewan.
Our 2d20 KH1 is this athletics?
You can add your athletics, yeah, you are pushing.
/R.
Why
Keep
does it always
fucking
put a
doing it.
space? Or is it just
Love
instinct
our
that you put a space?
25.
It takes all of you a little bit of time, banding together, sort of starting with the smaller ones, pushing them across. You even see that some of them start to fall with quite a lot of grass and moss on them. Most likely this cave-in has essentially been overgrown over the years, making it a little bit more difficult for you to move it, but not impossible. As you start to work away, none of you get any points of exhaustion as you're helping one another move this. As you eventually break through, you have several of the rocks tumble into what you can only assume to be the River S. As you can see the shoreline, quite a tall banking that you'll obviously have to climb up. But even in the distance, you can see the watchtower, you can see the top of the watchtower of Hillview, you can see the Eastwood, and then over the banking, you can see the kind of top reaches of Summerhost, as well as the Forest of Halden. You're right on the edge of the River S.
As I'd more just turn to the rest of them and just say, he's directed us back to his carriage to take a writ to the Lord of Summerhost. Suppose this will be the last part of our job.
Marcusar grimaces at that.
Marcusar, you didn't answer before, but at least grace us with something. What are we to look out for in this Lord? Eidolon more just says with a tired expression at this point.
He is not to be trusted.
Then maybe don't provide us with a reason or whatever your opinion is, but at least tell us why.
He is a murderer.
Yeah, that does it.
As with those statements, with those conclusions, and with you guys finally on your way to Summerhost, to Marcusar's crib, we will end our session there for this evening.
Marcusar's crib, like, yo, welcome to the Forest of Halden. You know, this is where I got
cribs.
MTV cribs. That's pointing at like a sleeping bag under a wet tree. Is like, yo, this is where the magic happens.
As next week we will be arriving in Summerhost, as you'll have gone back, collected the writ from Lucius's carriage, taken your horses, and ridden to town.
God, I don't like Lucius, and I was so correct to not like him.
Yeah, fuck that
Fuck
guy.
him.
Fuck
I
that
was,
guy.
I was so ready to kill him. Fuck you, Matthew, for making a good point.
Slimy little bastard.
Fuck you for being a conscious, Matthew. I was wanting to kill him, and I was going to. Actually, I was going to settle for chopping off both of his hands, and you didn't even let me have that.
Would that not kill him, though?
I mean,
Might
if you
have
didn't
bleeding
treat
out.
him, then maybe.
Don't treat people, that's their job.
As I hope you boys enjoyed. That was
We
the
did,
end
it was
of,
a lot of fun.
end of your dungeon. Hope you enjoy your new sickle, Paul.
I haven't gotten the chance to use. Well, I used it as a weapon, but I haven't used it as a sickle. You know, like I feel
Gotta
like
do
I should
some
go
farming.
cut some. Yeah, I've got to do some farming and see if I get any bonuses that way. Probably not, but
Hell yeah.
But For everyone watching, I also hope you guys enjoyed. But we're going to see you all next time for more shenanigans. As we're ending it there for tonight.
Au revoir.
Bye.
Bye.